I'll be honest, I wasn't overly impressed because on their T side they really struggled to get that mid control. Namiga were very good and solid at actually fighting and forcing them away and forcing really them into these A executes over and over and over again, and it was just retake simulator that Namiga were able to hold onto. But that's a little bit down the line, as we are going to be jumping into Nuke, and we're getting going right now, kicking off with Betera on the CT side. Two Julies in the fray as well.
Let's get into the game. Can Betera keep up their surprising form in Challenger League this season? Z10 will know this is an amazing opportunity to get straight through to those semi-finals of playoffs. They are the favourites here for good reason. I'll get into more of about the individuals of Betera a little bit later on, of course, because it's a very new mix. Only been around a month, really, the full team. So let's see how they do. Z10 already have got Simca all the way round toward Heaven. And they've actually got a couple of players in this position too. We'll clear out Hell. Vert could rotate into that position, but we've got so much space to work toward on this execute toward A.
Yeah, and they are not being really contested whatsoever. Tenzi, he's going to be the first person really to kind of take a little bit of contact, but Bomb is already going down, and you're going to be playing for the retake here, which is going to be making it very difficult indeed. Luckily, you still have everybody on board, but eventually when these smokes are going to fade, you're going to need to start going, because there's not a kit in play, and Z10 already holding on complete control of this bomb site. Masval comes rushing in and gets clotheslined by that Glock, and this pistol round surely is a round gone by. A really strong start from Zero Tenacity, and honestly a well worked pistol.
They honestly could not have parred that better. I don't know if that was like some kind of hard read at how Betera like to play their CT pistol rounds, but Zero Tenacity just got everyone in the right position to outplay and outposition for that A site take. There's no one really there to fight. There was Tenzi, like you say, but in Hut you can only really try and jiggle for one and then fall away, and wasn't really even allowed to do that. There'll be a force buy that comes through from Betera. Maybe a bit more unusual. Sometimes you see these full saves on Nuke to get the guns in the third on CT. And the FAMAS is obviously a little bit cheaper and better. But it's definitely a force buy that you should be worried about. The Scout can deal with the range outside. You've got the 2 MP9s, got the CZ, but already with some lobby control, Z10 have dealt with that first player in Cynics.
Yeah, and it was only really the first player that kind of went for a little bit of a crunch. The rest are still waiting on the outside top hut as the pop comes through and you're not able to stop it. Masval just gets blown away by that Mac 10, and if I'm Betera here, I'm already considering a save, mate, because look, there's no way that you're getting in here. You might have done a little bit of tickle damage, but nothing that significant whatsoever. So I think you're just going to save for the next. Yeah. Nobody else is going to have a buy, so 2 SMGs and a scout saved. It isn't bad. It's not terrible. You can win the next round with this.
Yeah, it's definitely worth it. It's a boring option, but it's definitely worth it. They are going to try and look for a couple of these because, of course, Brute has got the Mac 10 as much cash as he possibly can for a future AWP. Chauffeur on the line, but it's looking for him, but he will get taken down. And the bomb's going to explode soon, so actually now he's been taken down to 48. Does need to scarper a little bit, and I think he will be fine now. We'll see. Might be somewhat close from the man, yeah. No, I think it's actually the one furthest away. I just read the map incorrectly, so all good. And that'll be the 2-0 start for Zero Tenacity. And yeah, just a little bit about the individuals on the team for Betera, right? I think Zero Tenacity are quite a known entity, but Betera definitely aren't really. You've actually got like 4 players from different organisations sort of dotted around the scene, funnily enough. I mean, Masval came from Iron Branch, if you remember. That sort of team that floated around open qualifiers in Tier 2 toward like 2022, 2023. Tenzi came from a team called Rustek. Height came from DMS, of course, and more early on in his career, Cloud9 Academy, which didn't really do much at all, obviously. Cynics came from that Witcher's team with Smooya and Fear, of course. And then Vert came from that Team Space roster that actually played their training quite a lot of ESL Challenger League seasons in the past. So definitely a lot of names here that have been floating around. Maybe this composition is now finally finding some success.
Well, I mean, you just have to look at the group stage and the results as well that they were able to get. So they were having at least a small little bit of it. But right now, I mean, they've had absolutely none. Luckily, for the first time, they're going to get the guns up in this round. And in a round like this, and in just this game in general, Zero Tenacity, they're a very outside heavy T side, and I think it is just very difficult. I was speaking about Nemanja and how he's the heartbeat of this team, and that is absolutely no different on Nuke. He just loves getting outside, whether it's solo or whether it's with people behind him. Loves going for a little bit of a lurk around, and you need to be very cautious of him because he is able to catch timings like nobody else, and he's just such a threat and definitely a terrifying force to be up against.
Here is this first gun round. The AWP is available for height. Masval, toward me, they're just creeping in. It's been spotted toward that back garage position, and surely there'll be a trade from that mini player. Yes, there will be. Accidental dig from Nemanja as well there, and he sees a corner of Masval, and he will stop Simgi from working his way out after he took Cynics. That's actually quite a good hold from Masval there. Nemanja's, of course, got himself all the way around toward this little gap outside, but they've got... Other than that, that's probably a factor that Betera will kind of know about, considering they have fought outside. There's no map control, so I think they're kind of a known quantity right now in this round Z10. But Masval is searching, and of course that could mean things go awry.
Definitely could if Brute Monster catches a nice timing on him, but he's got the bomb, so he's not really the man that wants to go guns blazing into any gunfights right now. He is waiting for Nemanja really to kind of find something, and they're just toying around with the idea. Nemanja can go searching, but eventually, unfortunately for Brute Monster, he is actually going to have to make his move. Nemanja's still not really discovering all that much towards outside, but spots the Opera in heaven, does a little bit of damage. Brute Monster, though, he's just going to walk in, and Masval, he'll just shut this round down completely. 19 seconds, Nemanja mollied off. This is going to be very difficult to even get close to a round, and the spam, it's just so nasty, so gnarly on the way in, but a nice headshot as Nemanja now will grant himself an exit, but it is Betera with a really solid first gun round.
A couple of things to that one. Firstly, I think it's really underrated how Masval plays that. It's for players like me, for example, who's just like your bog standard level 10 who's a bit washed, like maybe you would feel less confident to go for a lobby push in a 3v2. You don't want to give up the advantage. You don't want to you get caught out and be the reason your team is back in the game. Or back in the round, sorry. Your opponents are back in the round. But yeah, pushing in toward that squeaky position in the back portion of it, late round, it always seems to go overlooked. And that is a great play from Masval. And also that one little point I was going to mention, Nemanja getting one extra kill does actually make a little bit of a difference, because it means that Betera only survived with 2 rather than 3, not the majority, so they have got to have an MP9 on Cynics. However, they've started the next round off well, with Height getting the opening.
Yeah, Nemanja could be in trouble here, trying to walk towards outside, no smokes, was even lurking, but they even had somebody down secret, so even if the Opera didn't find that kill, he was surely going to be a dead man, and Betera are just chewing them up and spitting them out right now towards outside. AVN, the only saving grace, picking up a kill in this round, but look at them, they're all getting ready right to swing now. They're going to come through this smoke and try and take some fights. Cynics goes through alone, and he's going to die. That HE though had AVN written all over the side of it. Connects perfectly, a second round connected as well, and Betera, honestly, what I'm seeing, Trav, is a really nice game plan set up for them, because they know that Zero Tenacity want to fight for outside control for the majority of the gun rounds, and so far that's the way Betera are setting up to stop exactly that.
Yeah, they're not sitting back too much, right? They're trying to play with initiative, trying to fight early. And when they're given fights, like Height was, well, he's hit them. First 3 kills of the game in round 5 for him. And now they only have that Simki AK. And that's a shift into the angle there from Simki. You probably shouldn't be expecting the AWP outside again. Bit of an oversight to shift into that angle. At least maybe try and jiggle it once. A bit lazy, a bit lackadaisical. Supposed to be critical. But it's the AK, like we said. They're playing pass to parcel with the AK right now. And unfortunately, it's not getting much done. They'll get taken down as well. AVN got one with the P250, but that should be it. 4 alive, and now that issue I mentioned earlier on isn't really a factor. They've built up a bit of a mini bank right now for Betera.
Yeah, a little bit of a safety net to fall back on should you be unsuccessful in this gun round. It was almost like that AK was a little bit cursed towards outside. Everybody that touched it just absolutely fell apart. Got lit up with bullets, but Now, it is not going to be just the pistols. We've got an AWP on Brute Monster, who hasn't really done all that much so far this game. It is still early on, hasn't really got too many opportunities, but he got took down early in the last gun round, and this time they're going to boost him towards outside to try and discover a pick. That HE doesn't go deep enough, so not going to be able to do too much damage whatsoever. The version of the outside smokes diagonals will grant safe passage down if they want it, but Zero Tenacity right now, they are just leaving the Mania to go search, see what he can discover, and call his team maybe after him, or maybe something towards inner a little bit later on.
Nice peek from height, getting himself in toward lobby. If it's something a little bit more aggressive, and he's staying dynamic around the map as well, staying unpredictable. And this round has actually got a little bit important now for Zero Tenacity. The Mania's got a pick towards Secret, but Cynics is tracking and tracing and has got behind him, playing with that smoke to perfection. And Z10 actually need to stop the rot somewhat. They've got obviously the pistol and the anti-force and anti-eco conversion, but gun rounds, not much just yet. They're going to choose to walk AVN and Choffo in toward ramp. It is clear. Choffo is the one carrying the bomb at the moment. 35 seconds, going up toward heaven would be a cool idea, but Vert's in honestly a really good position. Should see something, and does. This is a very hard shot to spray, so he's going to have to tap, and he'll get away with it. The thing is, it's very hard for Choffo as well. Almost an untradeable angle there. That's a classic position. I remember Smiths used to play that back in the day all the time on Nuke. And he's caught out Zero Tenacity here. Brute should be going down. He will be. Damn. What a nice couple of rounds it's been from Betera so far.
Smiths is a blast from the past. Wow, that is a name that I haven't heard.
Smiths mentioned.
Yeah, that is literally a name that I have not heard in a very long time. But it's one of those fights that you're like, oh man, seriously? Like, you're there of all places. Like, how am I meant to kill you? Unless you've been off.
Bro's in spawn. He's not out of spawn yet.
He didn't even have to use his keyboard, just literally tap S, get behind the forklift, and he's able to get 2 kills. This is a dangerous round though, because Zero Tenacity on their T side known to be very explosive, and especially on a set piece like this, so you need to have your wits about you, and it looks like they're going to have a nasty little explosion and a nasty little surprise waiting for Vert MD. They are going to go through this. They are not going to be waiting for anything right now. Flash is going to go, but Vert is going to be blinded whatsoever. The spray is good for the double. Oh, but the trade not going to be gotten by the Opper. He dinked, and he's going to have to back away still though. Betera in control, a 4v2, although some of them wounded heavily.
Oh, Tenzi's in such a good position though. There's AVN, Brute won't be able to trade it, and that is a nice cleanup. And another round with the majority alive, another 4-man surviving, and that's 5 in a row now for Betera. We said that Zero Tenacity, have good results on this map. They've played it quite a lot recently. We know they're grinders, play a hell of a lot of Counter-Strike in Tier 2. But, that does mean there's a lot of material out there for Betera to scout. And they won't be blind to the fact that, as I mentioned earlier, we know Z10 are thinking the same thing. But Betera, this is an incredible opportunity for them to get toward the late stages of a tournament that could qualify them for a LAN. And obviously every single VRS result in seeded tournaments counts.
Yeah, you don't want to be overlooking any game, no matter, who you're playing against. Zero Tenacity already had a game earlier today as well. They were playing up against Alaska in the morning. I think it was around 12 or 1 o'clock. And
Alaska win?
No.
Damn it.
Yeah, not good for the UK scene. They did have 2 stand-ins though, but still.
Okay.
Zero Tenacity, they play quite well, and this is the explosion outdoor and really that Betera need to be worried about, but they absolutely just shut it down. 3 kills to the good and make sure that you cannot get out. And again, Zero Tenacity are just sent packing on a gun round. That was very quick outdoor, but the protocols looked perfect.
Yeah, and just the counter util was really good as well. Especially the sort of occasional flashes they threw. I think just stopped the push outdoor. The only fight that Z10 really had that I think was a chance was that one in toward Mini. And they got caught on that one pretty quickly. Really bad timing for Cynics, and that is a big miss from Height. It's worrying now, but he does reface. He's feeling confident. Choffo should get peeked from elsewhere, and he'll absolutely do that, will Tenzi. 6 now in a row for Betera. Keep on counting them. Z10, that was another, I guess you could say, investment of such. And again, because the loss bonus is now fully built up, they're going to have something a bit dangerous here. But Betera seem to have counted most so far.
And I think now you need to be a little bit concerned if you're Zero Tenacity. I wouldn't say they're desperate, but they are borderline right now. That they just really need to start picking up a round, because outside isn't working. You get shut down on an A play like that. You need to hope that somebody starts hitting, and somebody starts hitting hard in the next couple of rounds to really kind of bail you out of this situation. The last thing you need is Betera full of confidence going over onto their T side, and already a nice opening pick. Nemanja just going to creep around this main smoke here to maybe go for a little bit of a wrap as the rest of his team go down secret. But Betera with a really good adjustment. They've 2 players down already to receive them. But Zero Tenacity, are they being called back?
I mean, you've got Nemanja Heaven, but I feel like this sort of play for Z10, other than these 2 in secret, is pretty disconnected. Betera are very aware of the possibility of what could be going on. I think even Nemanja, even if he gets 1, like, where does he really go with it afterwards? There you go. There's information on Vert, but this is a hard shot to hit from above. Oh, do you commit? That's such a hard decision to make, because you only get body shots. So you need to hit 3. Finally, he's in the open and he'll pull the trigger. That's fair patience from Nemanja. And now the Deagles are trying to show more presence in toward main. There's a flash in for Chopper's Peak. It's a fly-up event from Tenzi, and that should be enough, because Maswell's already pushed in towards Squeaky. He's found his 1. And Nemanja may have picked up that AK, but Tenzi is keeping himself alive. There's Cynics on site to deal with him. And Choffo, he may have the bomb, but he's got 15 seconds to shift toward ramp and then sprint down toward B. And he's going to have to hurry up. Now, unfortunately, there's already a player here waiting for him, and Height is the one to take it. Damn, this is really impressive, sort of calm work from Betera right now.
And they are weathering whatever storm Zero Tenacity throw at them, which I've been very impressed with. I think they're just set up right. Obviously, they've had a look to see exactly how Zero Tenacity want to play. And, you know, they just are very aware of the timings and what's going on. And even, you know, losing a player to Nemanja in Heaven, it didn't really bother them all that much, because they already pushed in. They already had that lobby control. They didn't really have to worry. Nobody else could go down to him. Zero Tenacity, it is really kind of now or never. Nemanja is just going to try and maybe send it down secret himself. The rest are going to group up in towards lobby, but this double push is excellent. Flash coming in, Simka in the corner, nobody close for a trade.
Yeah, that is excellent. I completely agree with you. I appreciate Maswell trying to peek onto his teammate's contact there. Actually, I also appreciate Height peeking, even though he dies. I think they needed to change something up, even if everything's working fine. You know, the classic argument is, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. But if you do that, you eventually become exposed, and Z10 will learn how to get past them. So it's not even failed miserably either, this one, right? They've recovered that other kill. It's back into a 3v3 again. So with a minute to go, they are spread across the map to maybe join up towards secret, because Nemanja is currently waiting with Brute and Choffo creeping forward outside.
Yeah, but Tenzi's in a wonderful position here. Yes, he's going to get flashed. He's actually just going to turn away. You have to cross. You have no smokes to really block this kind of vision. Good trade, though, from Brute Monster. That just keeps you in the game and in the round right now. 30 seconds to still get down towards B, but Cynics is playing this one so passive in towards single right now. He's close. Nemanja needs to be very aware of this position, but I don't know if he's going to come out and clear it, and he hits a bullet, but it's not going to be enough. Brute Monster sprinting out on the site to try and save them. An important shot. Brute Monster can get the bomb down now. Vert with a lot of util to force him away from this backside position should it get down to it, but Brute Monster, he's jiggling. He wants a fight right now, wants that information, has now spotted him. The white peak here, the AWP off the mark, and Vert is going to try and run him down, but it's such an awkward engagement. But the AWP, it's just not hitting, and now you've got to reload. Vert doesn't want to take out the molly, just wants to keep his gun up because he knows the fight is going to come his way, and Brute Monster at 1 HP gets it done. And ridiculous round from the Zero Tenacity Opper, and that really just bails Zero Tenacity out of a lot of trouble. An 8-4 half isn't that bad if they're unsuccessful in this round.
Oh my goodness, Brute. That felt so awkward. It felt so like he was so cold as well. He was missing so many shots. I don't think necessarily even Vert did the wrong thing. Like you say, wanted to keep his gun out to prepare for a swing, knowing that Brute was continuing to swing. Goodness me. Gets away with it on 1 HP. I would say there's definitely an element of fortune to the fact he survived with 1 HP there. But it's actually a critical round they've managed to take. Z10 do try and turn up the pace in the final round of the half to try and get that 7-5, but Masval is holding down the fort brilliantly. Will eventually go down, but it's a 4v2. Bert spotted a player in Hut, but big miss from Chopo. Hang on, Brute's got the line of the smoke push from Tenzi. 2v2 out of nowhere.
This is coming crumbling down, but that peak is wonderful. Cynics with a lovely push. You were not expecting it if you're Sajafo, and surely Lightning doesn't strike twice, right? Surely Brute Monster can't pull off another 1 versus 2 here. Height. Just waiting for the angle. The low peak actually nearly caught him off, but the adjustment there, he was always going to be ready. And that's an 8-4 half.
Impressive work from Betera in ESL Challenger League this season. Incredible group stage, of course, they've had. They beat Namiga yesterday, catching Namiga on a bad day, of which unfortunately they've had quite a few of this year. But I digress, because Betera are looking good again. 8-4 up. Zero Tenacity have work to do on the defense of Nuke.
Yeah, but if there was ever a team that could really just pull this one out of the fire, it is probably Zero Tenacity. Now, Pistol starting things off, and Betera just going searching towards outside. Height wants a fight. Plain and simple. Wants somebody to peek into him with that P250. Nice timing from Nemanja, and that's just a one tap that he is just satisfied with. Backs away. Knows that there was probably one more towards back red, but that's completely fine. You've got the advantage now, and you can play this one a little bit safer.
Yeah, just very aware of the possibility of the P250 outside there. Doesn't want to go for another peek. Just get owned. But hang on, Manswell crept through, and Simki couldn't save his teammate in time. So Manswell gets away with a cheeky 1-for-1. Manu is now down toward B, and actually is probably in the perfect counter position for height. Working their way through with that P250. Got Vert and Cynics now in position as well. One will be going down towards single door, and Chofo is toward that ramp position. That smoke will bloom wide enough to cover that side of ramp, but with the Manu where he is, it's be very hard to break through, but doesn't realise Cynics is directly below him. So 2v3, Vert he can. He can hop behind the site and get it planted. Chofo, I think, will know that's where he is, though. And, of course, they'll now know where Cynics is. He's in the middle of fighting. They tried to get one kill back, and now it has to be a 1v3. So many players to find, with no armor as well for Cynics either. Trying to run them down. That's a good first, but eventually the dualies are too strong. And Zero Tenacity get a must-win CT pistol.
And it's all thanks to Nemanja as well. It's all thanks to their leader stepping up with a lovely opening. And then even the second shot, I think, was better than the first. Obviously, really good kill towards back red. But the fact that he gets a second after the crossfire between himself and the ramp player was dismantled by the smoke, he had to hit that shot just to make it a whole lot easier for his team to retake the site. And you can even see there when Cynics was in that 1 versus 3, he was trying to make the right decision. He was trying to take the engagement versus a solo, just try and isolate some of the fights to make that one doable, but the numbers game just didn't work out in his favor, and unfortunately they will fall short. But they're going to buy back here. And it is a pretty decent investment. You've got 3 Deagles, you've got an AK, and you've got a Galil. You've definitely got weapons that can make a difference here. And it looks like they're going to be creeping slowly over towards the ramp. But this double setup with AVM boosted, this could really ruin your day.
Oh, this is a really nice setup. It could still fall apart, don't get me wrong, because if the whiff comes through... Okay, now they know. Now they know. And AVN does get 2. And now Chofo, they can only really be in one position. This close right is a nice position if you're undetected, but are they going to actually face it properly? Are they going to risk going up against the M4 that they know is there? Chofo will take first point of contact first, and that gives enough time to Simki to rotate all the way around and recover things. So that's big for Z10. They're now in a position where they should, unless Vert does something crazy, make it back up to 8-7. Need to make sure they don't take too much damage here.
You don't want to hurt your pockets really too much, and that's really all that Vert is set out to do. He knows that he's probably not winning the round, but he is just going to try and make you pay for it. Make a lot of players reinvest if he can. There's already AVN and Simka to have to rebuy, but at least AVN made a lot of money with that SMG. But careful, Nemanja, you're going to be caught in a timing yourself and get sprayed down in the back. 20 seconds, not enough time to win the round, but it's a nice little upgrade you get from that Galil to an M4. You take down 3 players with it as well. That's just going to keep the Zero Tenacity money honest, and for what started out to be a very unsuccessful force buy, turns out okay.
Yeah, like, that's if you're going to lose, it's almost best case scenario. He's even found the A1S as well, of course, so really not too bad. It gives them something to work with in this next round. Vert can, of course, as well probably be the main point of contact here. He can maybe be the guy going in second or third. Get baited in for a couple of kills, maybe. We have got a sniff of a force spy coming through. I thought we might be investing a little bit too much there. And maybe I think we have slightly on Cynics, but it's okay with the M4 in play. May as well give that a little bit of an extra help. Especially if they lose that M4, Cynics can then be the man to pick it up. Have some armor to work with. But yeah, the 8-7 is in front of a Z10 right now. They've got 5 M4s in play. Or 1 AK, I should say, and 4 M4s. They're in a position. They can get them back in this game straight away. Good hit outside. Nemanja's trying to check that. Almost catches Vert. He actually does spray it at the right time. Sees a gap through it as he sprays. Here's the A1S on top silo. Gets 2.5. Brute helps out at the last. And there'll be no kills at all for Betera. That is an excellent hold from the CT side.
And you kind of make amends as well, you know, that you lose a couple of players in the last round, now you don't lose anybody, and especially with the danger it had M4 in the round, the fact that Nemanja is able to spam him down before he can even see anybody is just such a bonus. But yeah, I can see what you were talking about. Cynics, he's only on a Mach 10 here, but that would lead me to believe that maybe there might be something a little bit aggressive coming out here from Betera, who, you know, are a little bit explosive themselves sometimes when they need to be. So I'm just a little bit concerned about Zero Tenacity. They might get tested pretty much early on, but it looks like Betera are going to explore their options towards outside. Nemanja trying to gather as much information as possible. He is here solo for now, but he does spot one. Brute Monster starting down B, waiting with a piece of util in his hand if it's needed, but this looks like it could be a little bit of a wrap going on here. Nemanja still looking for the timing, but gets it a little bit wrong. They crept in towards main, but not expecting AVN to be that close.
You can actually see the communications there, like, without hearing them. You can see the words. Like, AVN is told by Nemanja, okay, I'm moving away, it could timing me Mini. He goes and checks Mini, and he's there, and he gets the kill. It's funny how that works. The in-game body language, you can see the in-game communications going down, and shows that things are on point between Nemanja and AVN, at least. And the hold is looking really solid here for Zero Tenacity. There's no progress for Betera at all on what is his full investment, of course. With the guns, the Mach 10 might get one kill for some bonus money, but it's only a silver lining. They've got 3 AKs picked up now, and we're back even at 8 apiece.
Zero Tenacity with some pretty solid holds so far. You know, they're doing what they needed to. I said 4 rounds might be enough. They've already got themselves back into this game, and they could pull themselves into the lead if they do not fall to a little bit of a set piece from Betera. That's the one thing I'd be a small bit concerned about. Betera, these Tech 9s, if they go very quickly, could get in your face. And once again, Nemanja is the man that is going to be contesting towards outside. HG should land on the money, actually. Betera actually take a couple of steps backwards to make sure that they don't take any damage. And, well, still it won't matter because Nemanja, on top credit, just takes that peak down, already takes down one. A second to fall with it. Cynic's head has been spotted there. Nemanja waiting to see if he's going to creep into main. You won't get away from him. Not at all. Height now the last man standing, and it's another just unfortunate round for Betera where they are not going to get all that much. At least you get one kill back, but you're walking into the jaws of the Opper.
Nice little jiggle, actually. It'll be solid, however. And there's the peak from Choffo. So another big round from Nemanja, and it looks like to me right now that the system, especially on CT, is working really well for Z10. Look at the kills across the board. It's actually very similar for both teams. I'll give them both credit for that. But everyone's getting into the game now for Zero Tenacity. Nemanja, there's a reason that he's our player to watch for today. He gets himself into the action nearly every single time on this team. In-game leader. Oh, a little jump. Little run boost for Brute Monster as well to get top garage. We saw Nemanja fragging from top of the credit box, but you know, top garage. Unfortunately for him, he's done all that work to get there, but not been greeted with any enemies coming his way, as we're mostly focused on T-roof and lobby control. Execute.
Yeah, looks like it. And Zero Tenacity, they're perfectly set up for this. Brute Monster has got all that information towards outside, so you can play heavy A here. Absolutely no problem. You know that they're not going to be down. The util is going to be raining in. It's just a game of dodge and flashes right now for Simca as Betera try and make their way out. It's getting a little bit difficult though. The util being put down from the CTs is perfect. You're going to have to run through smokes, but if you take care of Nemanja like that, that's absolutely perfect. And Masvel's not done. He wants to push another one. Sitting on the fade here. Brute Monster's got a nade out. Masvel, oh, he runs out of bullets, and luckily that's just Brute Monster still alive, but it's still such a desperate task right now because Betera have somehow made their way onto the bomb site. They've got a bomb plant, and Brute Monster, is he calling this one off? Is he already thinking about a save here? On low HP, I'm just not sure that you can, you know, value going for this whatsoever, even with the 10k and the 9k, but maybe not. Maybe I'm wrong.
I think it's the AWP. They're like, okay, it's the AWP. He's probably saving. But they won't be blind to the fact that they've got a lot of money right now. He's going to hear them running away. This is worth a gamble, maybe with a 10k in the bank of Simki. He's definitely thinking about it, but Masval just waiting for him. No, you don't, you naughty boy. It's 9-all.
Not on Masval's watch, mate. Nice try, you know, you tip your hat to it. You say, alright, look, if it works, it works. We're all bowing down to Brute Monster, but nah.
You see the conversation, right? He was walking back towards CT, and he was like, guys, can I ninja? He's like, yeah, sure, mate. Go, give it a go. We've got money. It's definitely the wrong decision, I would say, but it's the fun one.
Oh, 100%. And if it works out, you know, everybody's happy because, you know, you've got a massive lead. You really just take the sting out of that round. And to be honest, I'm a little bit surprised that Betera are actually able to get in towards that A-bomb site because Zero Tenacity seemed like they were set up perfectly for it. Simka maybe only getting one and getting instantly traded out made it a little bit difficult, but I think the work that Masval did to get them onto the bomb site, that kill onto Nemanja on door was just so key. And then pushing the smoke as well. He's just full of confidence, really. He's taking a lot of risks, but they're actually just keeping Betera neck and neck, and that's their first T round that they're able to pick up.
Yeah, I mean, I think 9 out of 10 times Nemanja probably gets that kill, especially as Masval's going through a smoke, like you say, in a very small choke point, but you get the 10th time. Oh, I like this. This is a position you can maybe play once a CT half, I feel. You've got Brute Monster to play off of your contact, and maybe you won't expect a rifler outside if you've got Brute already fighting around red. Incendiary will give him time to fall back all the way to Secret as well. So AVN, when does he pull the trigger? Does he push forward? Cynics has not seen him yet. Needs to be careful of gun barrel sticking out. Needs to be careful of a silo player perhaps looking down and looking for him. But this is the moment. This can confirm a 5v3, maybe even more if he plays Trigger Discipline, but he goes for it straight away. Sees the head, doesn't take any patience, but he does peek a little bit further forward, and Vert is gifted a freebie back.
Nemanja, again, top credit. He's again getting aggressive, again ready to peek, and again just farming them towards outside. Masval's low HP as well. The smokes are going to be up here, but you need to be careful. If the Heaven player catches a glimpse of you, Sajafo's going to continue to spam, and he's already spotted him out. But Masval, that's a ridiculous headshot to find on low HP as well. It's still such a difficult round to get back into, but that just gives you a chance.
Yeah, and it's a chance where, sure, you're walking wounded, but Heights still got the bomb on his back. Masval's found another kill on low HP, and you still have full util on Masval and decent util on Height. Simki needs the one, will get the one, he looks to jiggle out the second, looks for it, and that is an overpeak. That is a very ill-advised re-swing in there from Simki. Now it gives Brute Monster a difficult 1v1 to win, with the AWP, of course. He'll know that Height's planted, probably behind Silo. It's going to be one of the safest positions, and he does go looking for it. And I'm afraid that is Z10 being a little bit too eager.
A little bit too eager combined with a Masval miracle. That is insane that they've won that round. And it's pretty much all because of him. Now, I'm not going to overlook Height in that situation as well. He was excellent to even find that headshot, but the overcommitments, you just don't need to, you know, he's alone, you've already done your job, you killed the low HP player, you know where he is, just play it a little bit safer, and it cost you in that round. You know, that kind of confidence that Zero Tenacity always seem to play with, that kind of swagger that, you know, they can take fights with absolutely anybody. In the end, it cost them that round. It cost them the lead. It won't cost them the game just yet, but we could be heading there.
I think the worst part for me is that they did jiggle out the information. They did figure out that the second player was coming through Mini, and he still decides to re-swing it. I mean, there's an argument you could say, okay, you're going to stop the plant. If you kill him, you're not going to let him get into an after plant, when it could be a difficult 1v2. But at the same time, I really think you need to wait for Brute Monster there. Guarantees possibly a trade. Nemanja, though, he's found Tenzi, and Chofo's playing with that utility toward Trophy and gets away with a ridiculous MP9 push. So now they've got another 5v3 to work with. This is a kind of a must-win now.
That was wild as well, because the molly that Height threw, it actually hit Sajafo, and he didn't hear it. He didn't react to it at all. That was so strange. If maybe somebody was talking in the TeamSpeak with them, I'm not sure, but that can really be the only thing that I'm thinking about, that comms were going on at that time, because it's a very distinct sound that should have given away that there was somebody close. And now Betera, this, I mean, you're going to need another miracle here. Brute Monster is the only one below deck right now. You've got a ramp player that's going to be a fast rotate as well if you need it, but you need to be very careful of Brute in towards glass, and he's already been dealt with, so step one complete. Now get that bomb down and hold on for dear life, but you want to get aggressive. Flashes are going to be good, but just fading away into the smoke. Keeping himself alive is going to be Sajafo, and now AVN will turn up the heat from behind. Vert and Cynics have a big job on trying to hold now, and it's just all on Cynics. A big job to do, but he's hitting the headshots. He's finding the frags that he needs to right now. Molly towards double. Spots out both players. Has all the information, and surely not a 1v4. Cynics, surely you can't win this. AVN's low HP. Goes for the swing, but hits the headshot. AVN stands up tall and denies one of the clutches of the day.
That is crazy. I mean, the fact he's brought it down that far is an incredible attempt. And AVN, you could argue, wasn't supposed to win that. He was the one bullet from death. He had to swing, take the initiative, and hit the first bullet headshot. He's not necessarily been the guy on Zero Tenacity over the years to be known for really fragging out. It's more on the Mania, it's more occasionally Brute and Simki, but yeah, that's a critical single clutch kill that changes everything here for Zero Tenacity. Sure, they survive with one player alive, only AVN, which means if Betera win this one, they're in the pound seats.
The flash outside, you know that the Opera is going to be looking for you, so you need to proceed with caution if you're Betera. Bert though with the swing, spots that he's not anywhere near credit right now. And this is a little bit difficult, because you know the Op is somewhere, so you're going to send Height to go searching for him, but Brute Monster's actually rotated all the way away, and he's going to go towards ramp, so Opera's not going to be here, but Sajafo in towards heaven. You see where that flash has come from. Sajafo needs to be very careful if he continues to jiggle in this position.
AVN. Concerned slightly as that smoke begins to fade, with the nade of course coming in as well towards Squeaky. Gonna give it a path outside. He's made his way out in that position actually. Tenzi will make a lot of noise charging his way in toward Garage, and AVN will know that, but Vert's already found the Mania, and another kill will come through toward Chofo. They have got all the information. Obviously that was probably relayed over to Chofo there from AVN. But sadly, not much he can do about it. And he's still not pulled the trigger yet. He needs a lineup, and he's got that lineup. It's worked out in the end for a critical double. It's recovered the round into a 2v2. 20 seconds. Angle being held by Brute Monster around lobby, but I think he's missed the timing. Time is going to be a really big issue. They were going to shoot a drop down toward B. It's the perfect call. They had to do it. 7, 6, 5, and 4. And the plant's coming down. They're going to be okay. And now suddenly they're in the advantage, especially with that kill from Hyde. It's all down to Brute. Going down the vent with the AWP of all things. Because you have one freebie, and he's got that one freebie. And he goes for a FAMAS in the 1v1, and Cynics wasn't ready for that switch. Another big clutch round won by Z10. Betera will be kicking themselves.
And they played it perfect. They played it absolutely perfect. The lobby push was excellent from Zero Tenacity. When it got down into that 2 versus 2, they nearly had the timing on this last player dropping down the vent, but it just didn't happen. And still, it wasn't enough. Still, it wasn't enough to dispatch of Zero Tenacity. That's another just monster of a clutch from himself. And now, oh, another tactical timeout. That's very late on that you're going to call that as well, to kind of get a discussion in, because you know it could be last chance saloon here on this map. You need to make sure that everybody knows what they're doing. The plan enacted is going to be one that can get you successfully onto 11 rounds here. Do not want to hand over a chance for Zero Tenacity to close out this map. And to be honest, I think it would be a bit cruel not to see an overtime in this one. I think Betera have done well enough in a couple of rounds. You know, they've given us some close calls as well, nearly winning that 1 versus 4 to get into this position. But Zero Tenacity doing what Zero Tenacity do best, and that's just doing enough to get the rounds over the line.
How scary. And again, another close one, as I said. Just money's in a weird spot still. And I keep winning the rounds, it doesn't matter. But now the MAC-10's going to try and go for something a bit pacier. And I don't really mind a pace change at this stage of the game, honestly. You're 10-11 behind. You know, you've done so much damage in the previous rounds. And even though the first 2 kills go against them, they just play a bit more patiently. And they get the site to themselves. Choffo trying to make something happen. He's inside the smoke. Oh, they're kissing. Masval, should he realise he does it? And actually, Choffo spins round for the second. I can't believe it. He looks for Cynics, but does get taken down. And now Brute, USP out. I think he's making a lot of noise. He's very low HP, which is why the USP is drawn. Oh, my word, Jack. How is Zero Tenacity winning these rounds?
Oh, please don't ask me that question because I have no idea. I've absolutely no idea. That is just crazy. It's so ridiculous. So many different timings could have went wrong there for Sejafo in that smoke. But they get it right again. And again, it has to be Brute Monster sent into clutch. It's like you deal with 4 players on the side of Zero Tenacity, which is already hard enough because you've got some heavy hitters on that side. But then you have to get past Brute Monster, who is so calm in those situations. And Betera even actually making their way into that A bomb site was ridiculous because they lose the opening 2 fights. Your chances of getting into any bomb site at that stage drop exponentially. But speaking about dropped, vert towards outside, already taken down through that smoke. Ramp pop here as Nemanja will collect 1 and actually back away as well as Sejafo actually was the one to find that kill. It's all falling apart here for Betera. 2v5, they're down towards B. They do have the bomb, but we've seen them get close in a lot of rounds. They need to hope that they can get this one done.
Okay, surely not a 2v5 for Betera. That would be the complete shock of the game. In comes a flash. That's a good flash. It will be avoided. There should be a trade. Both players in that position, and that's why Simki was hesitant to swing it. But now they know where height is. There we go. They'll get it done. And honestly, I'm not entirely sure how. Betera will watch back the demo later on tonight and be like, oh my god, we should have been the one 12-10 up, not 12-10 behind. Z10 will scrape it over the line with some crazy clutches and individual moments.
Yeah, man, that's absolutely ridiculous, right? You know, that they were able to get that one over the line in the end. Betera, so close, man. But in the end,
all close either. Like, it's actually been quite a flip-flop. They beat Bait in ECL. They played Aurora in the Galaxy Battle Tournament. They lost 13-3. They beat Passion UA 13-1, but then they lose to BetBoom 13-5. They beat 500 13-3. Then lose to Rhino, for goodness sake, 13-6. So, you know, it's really hard to predict what they look like on the day on Mirage, but we're about to find out. And we'll see if they can get through to that semi-final of playoffs. But I want to keep them from doing that. It's a big opportunity for Zero Tenacity to get ever closer to finally grabbing a LAN for this roster.
Real close now. And already, Nemanja starting off with a kill. Aggression in towards mid, looks towards under, and he's going to take Vert's head off his shoulders. Goes back for a little bit more over towards A, but instantly gets punished for that. It's an explosion out towards this A bomb site as they take a lot of control, but they're not happy with that just yet. They want to push in towards CT. Zero Tenacity, though, playing quite passive, just allowing them to go in kind of half clear, and this is where Zero Tenacity are going to creep up and try and strike. But in a 3v4 it can be difficult, especially with that jungle and top con control.
Smoke kit though, and that can cause any madness to happen on a pistol round like this. And I'd sometimes actually favour the CT retake, but the numbers are this low, I somehow doubt it. Choffo is just refusing to try and lose too much health there, and he is on that defuse. They're missing the knife. Oh no, they're knifing each other. It's a nightmare. I had a feeling, even with numbers low, it's always a risk with that smoke kit being in play. And Choffo, no kills, no damage at all from him, but he's the hero.
You called it. I mean, fair play. You know, fair play. What can you say about that? You go on. That was the only way that you were going to win the round. So Sejafo, head down, hope that nobody goes it. But you know, you can just imagine the what is it, the Benny Hill music when the two of them are in the smoke, just knifing each other. Like, it is, unfortunately, one that you are not going to watch back with much joy if you're a Betera. But the investment coming back here 4 players grouped outside this B bomb site. Simka's getting so close though. And this is where it could get a little bit dangerous. Jumping around, Cynics is making a little bit of noise, so you know that there's a couple of players here. It's only Simka towards this B bomb site though, and he's going to need to stop absolutely everybody, but only the first. Good damage onto the next, but Betera, they will have this control of the B bomb site.
I hate to say it, like, unless Brute Monster finds 1 kill in the next like 20 seconds, or 15 seconds, I think it's just call it off and save. Because Mania might be up short very quickly, but they need to get a kill immediately. They're definitely not saving. Respect on that one. There's no kit in play. Tenzi's got the AK, of course. And there are 2 in play in this round. 1 with a height as well. 3 rifles are still up. 3v3. They're going to have to hurry it up. And they've been given space toward Empty Pillar. There's Tenzi's AK. He's not just found AVN. He's found Chofo as well. And yeah, just it never felt like it was going to be easy from there. Height will finish it off. And arguably, the better buy won the round. They had 3 good rifles, whereas Z10 only had 2 M4s.
Yeah, they did, and they definitely used them expertly to get out onto that B bomb site. The SMGs just getting in the face, and Simka, he was so alone. It was good pressure out towards mid to kind of keep, you know, a second player from being over towards that B bomb site. But Zero Tenacity, I think you're right. Like, I think they should have maybe just called that one off. But unfortunately, that's not how Zero Tenacity like to play things. They back themselves. They've got a lot of confidence in their engagements, and they wanted to take those fights.
Yeah.
Brute Monster, oh, that's a lovely start. The Scout already finding a head. Sajaf ducking underneath the flashbang, but won't be able to duck underneath those bullets. The FAMAS will take him down. Cynics, nice timing to get up short here. Still needs to connect on the shot, and crisis diverted after losing the opening duel in the round. Nemanja still lurking through this smoke. He could do a little bit of damage, but not with an empty mag. All eyes on Simka.
Had 3 bullets in the Deagle there, I'm pretty sure. Did well to get the 1, to be fair to him. Bomb plant wasn't committed to until right now. And unfortunately for Simka, he's not peeking while that plant is going down. If he doesn't get a freebie, Height will remove him. That's another 3-piece for Height, up to 5-0 already, and they've won that early game battle. Zero Tenacity down to the eco. Interesting utility as well in mid on one of those rounds as well. I think that window smoke failed, and the molly fell in there as well, so it got put out by the smoke that had been missed, right? It's actually kind of weird. But doesn't matter anymore. Betera have got through those rounds that really mattered, and now they can farm with the Mac 10. Plural. 2 of them.
The Moneymaker's just really getting active in towards mid. Exactly what you want. See if you can pick up nearly every single kill. The AK chimes in with 1 and the molly with another, but still, you make a lot of cash out of that one. A lot of bang for your buck in that situation. Zero Tenacity, they will come back with at least a solid enough buy. We're not going to see Brute Monster, unfortunately, on an AWP. Money just simply does not allow it. So, be intriguing to see what way that Zero Tenacity want to approach this one, because Betera, they have had a lot of eyes on middle to kick things off. Want to really just contest this mid control. This time though, it's a little bit more passive. 2 players over towards the ramp, 2 players just waiting to see if Zero Tenacity are gonna step into their crosshairs. Both teams pretty content though for now.
Standoff toward ramp. Tenzi ready to entry. Smoking toward jungle. The molly for top stairs, and no one peeks in while they try and make their way out. Brute checking Tetris. He's got Chofo on top balk. And make his way down. There's the information, and Brute does push forward for that. That's a really good catch, because it meant that Chofo is safe as well. Early man advantage.
You see now, Zero Tenacity, oh, don't want to rotate. The man was actually spotted there. That's a little bit of a problem. Still sticking around though for the peak. And actually, Cynics has naded the smoke open for Nemanja to kill Height there. That Crazy. Is a ridiculous kill to find. And Nemanja was like, alright, I'm just going to stay here. That's going to be an easy frag for me. But now all eyes on this A bomb site, because Betera, they're going to try and get up. Problem is, Trav, bomb is in T-spawn here. So I don't know what you're really trying to accomplish except damage.
Maswell has found Chofo though. 25 for a plant. Simki is very wary, of course, of that jungle position being overrun. They know there's been a lot of presence around there. And Cynics is not swinging right now. Bomb is being retrieved. Is being herded over. Time again is going to be very tight. Now the damage is significant, not just to Masval, but now to Cynics too. 7 seconds, 6, 5, and 4. It is being committed to, but he's still being tapped from short. There's no space anywhere on the site to plant, and it's super awkward for them. Cynic survives with just the Mac 10, but he does go swinging for something. He had a bit of money in the bank, so you know, listen, with the Mac 10, I actually don't disagree with that. I think it's worth looking for a peak, even if you die after time, because he can buy again, but it's an important round for Z10.
It really is, and Betera, it almost felt like, you know, they gifted them that 3v5 with that HE in towards window, especially after already catching a glimpse of him. Maybe he wasn't expecting to kind of nade open the smoke that much, so his teammate could go down. Oh, hi. If he finds that shot, it's a lovely start to the round, and it still might be Vert looking for the kill onto Nemanja in towards under, but he will just get away with his life, scamper up through connector on 17 health. With that advantage intact, Zero Tenacity, they can give up mid. They can just play for the bomb sites if they want to, and that might be the better option, because Betera are setting up for an A play, but they've got Cynics on a nice little lurk up connector. If he catches a timing, he could really throw a spanner in the works.
Oh, wow. He actually got double peaks. That's crazy. It's a good time to do it, though. Tenzi sandwich. Then I'm going to push towards the site. Actually could take CT. They're going to path it round the corner of triple. I think that's probably the best case scenario there for Betera, because the bomb plant can come through toward default, which gives 2 players in CT a chance to hold it. Thankfully for Simki, AVN is holding his teammate. Another flash in towards CT, and a good little jiggle peek in there just to remove Masval's opportunity. That was actually very cleanly done. Sure, they took a lot of damage, but they got the intel and got the kills once they had a chance to swing.
Yeah, nice little jiggle just to make sure that the op isn't actually posted on him, and still, he couldn't take his eyes off Top Con there. He wanted to maybe try and help out Masval, but was afraid that he was going to be pushed himself, so Masval was just, unfortunately, left to die in that situation, and Hai actually managed to collect a frag there. Problem was, there was 2 players, and he needed to kill both of them with 1 bullet, not lining up. It's going to be very difficult unless you can bend them. So, this is 3-3, all even. Zero Tenacity kind of coming to life, in all honesty, in these last couple of rounds. Betera grouping up pretty heavy in towards Palace now, getting ready to maybe just pop out on a timing. You've got Brute Monster with the AWP, you've got Sajafo that is quite close as well. I just wonder what's the plan here for Betera. Do they wait for a little bit more contact in towards middle, wait for the mid players to get up connector just a little bit closer to that A bomb site, or do they decide to play first, walk out and try and take down that opper?
As well, with that position toward the bottom of connector, looking toward Chopper. He can go for a smoke in the scenario, and Chopper actually almost whiffs that one. He almost gets spooked by the fact he gets charged down there like that. And I guess number 4 versus 3. Height trying to do damage with the scout. They are, of course, all over the A-bomb site again here. Choffo, oh, he's forced forward by the nades and only just gets away with his life. But thankfully, he survives long enough for the CT rotation. That leaves Vert a long way away. He'll know that himself. The little knife on the floor tells you his feelings on that one. Has to rotate all the way around. Nemanja is already waiting for him, and it's an instant headshot. 4-3, Zero Tenacity, and that puts Betera down to an eco.
Yeah, they've got themselves back into this game, and now they've got a chance to really just push on and take the reins of the CT side. And Betera, yeah, able to get out on that A-bomb site, you know, able to take a little bit of space, but Zero Tenacity, they never really looked worried, did they, at all? They had a great read on the situation. They always seem to have players in the right spots. And although this is, you know, a small bit of an eco, there is a little bit of an investment behind it. Flashes is just going to be a straight B rush. Yeah, they're not going to contact this. They're just going to try and send it, try and force Simka into an unwinnable fight here. He really needs to try and get out of this situation. Good HE. It's going to chunk down a lot of players, and they won't even make it out of the apartments. They get instantly shut down as they are just plucked out of the air, out of the sky, and out of the round.
Clean one, an important one to build up that little bit of residual cash. Betera, they've been, these individuals have been floating around the space for quite a while. Height had that little period on DMS. I mentioned Maswell, of course, been around for a really long time, honestly. About 3 years now since he first was on my professional team. Say professional team, I'm pretty sure Iron Branch was a mix at the time. But it's when he first started getting little stints and getting through open qualifiers and being involved in ACA advanced playoffs and stuff like that. Cynics, of course, probably most known for that Witches team with Fear and Smooya. And all these pieces are kind of coming together to create a bit of a dangerous roster in ECL this season. But at the moment, Zero Tenacity are dealing with them just about. The end of Nuke won't be forgotten about by Betera for a while, I think. Could be one to sit in bed and think about tonight, unfortunately for them. But they can get it out of their minds if they get a chance to get through to a third map decider of Train. Still available. 2 rounds down. They'll finally go for a little bit of a move through under, but they've been actually mollied off, so not just yet.
It's really good counter util right now from Zero Tenacity, just keeping them kind of at bay, smoking towards the window. AVN should be able to adjust onto this boost here. Cynics is never going to be looking that direction whatsoever, so that's going to be a freebie. And now at 40 seconds, Betera already down a man. You've got Nemanja waiting to peek out. It's just a lovely little bait setup in towards Connector, but Masval, that double headshot might change things. However, Tenzi now realises it is all up to him. The responsibility falling on his shoulders now to come up big in this clutch. 2 players up towards short, and he doesn't even clear the left-hand side. Was expecting AVN maybe to be pushed up middle, but just ready and waiting for him to swing out con. It's not a clean round, but it definitely is a good one to pick up if you're Zero Tenacity. Extending their lead to 3 now, and Betera, it's them now with another choice on whether to invest or whether to save for the next.
Yeah, tie guaranteed on the half now. Good work from Zero Tenacity to keep this one under lock and key at the moment. Betera, as we've spoken about, did not have a good run on Mirage. They've had 1 win, but that was with their old roster. They had like Owner on the team, if you remember him.
Of course.
But yeah, not with this current 5. The last 3 have been relatively close, but all losses. You know, Brute from CT. Gets smoked off. Actually uses nade on trying to hold the line, and you know what? It works out beautifully. They actually do peek into that and give them the opportunity while that smoke is blown open. Well, CT is excellent, and he does need that rifle support. They're kind of falling over each other for a second there, but Simki's done amazing work to find 2. Could have easily gone down. Does in the end, but did his job.
Yeah, the pistol is still trying to get something out of this, but it looks like they are going to get the bomb plant, and that's about it. That is actually just a minor miracle how Simka is able to get a double there. It's one of those situations that 100% you can see Simka and Brute Monster going down, and Betera just actually being in the driver's seat of the round. And it's one of those situations that if you're Brute Monster, you are cursing out Simka if you are getting body blocked by him after the flash comes through. But the double kill, perfect, because it stops Betera. And honestly, it's another round that I feel that Betera are quite unfortunate in. Like, I think they were just a little bit unlucky there, but I think that's just the story of the day. There's been a couple of rounds that they've come close, you know, just a moment goes a little bit different, and maybe they take the round, and maybe it's a different story. But Zero Tenacity, I mean, fair play to them. Again, just doing exactly what they needed to do to get rounds over the line. And Betera, when they desperately need rounds on Mirage, they go into these A plays and they're going to try and wide swing out towards Palace. Sajoff was already taking down 1. Good boost from Simka to collect another, but it's just all Zero Tenacity in the kill feed right now. Betera stopped on entry once more, and Height and Tenzi with it all to do.
Yeah, they've got util, but it's dominated by flashbangs, and they don't really have any more smokes now, so they use that one to give them an opportunity to get a safe plant. So they're going to have to get it down here and now before they fade. Oh, a boost on triple. I don't see that too often, and maybe this is why, because it's been dismantled almost immediately. Oh dear. They tried something crazy to try and bring the round back in the 2v4, but I think I cannot even understand why they tried that, because if they tried to plant, even with those smokes up, right, Jack, I think they were just, the positioning of Zero Tenacity would have just spammed them down, I think, through triple, especially if it was done on that timing while they were both there. Yeah, it's just no way in.
So the round was lost there by the time they lost the 3 players. You know, there's nothing really you can do in that situation unless you just hit a couple of headshots and get yourself back in there. Look, you're never getting a bomb plant out of that situation. It's a big risk there from Cynics to try and run through that Molotov, and Sajafo just does enough to take him down. So it's a 1-for-1 trade, but they're trying to creep up now in towards mid. Tenzi's maybe trying to get himself in towards ladder, but doesn't look towards the left side of connector. Nemanja gets an easy one, a freebie, back turned, collects that kill, but Nemanja's still sticking around. That smoke phase at the wrong time though, and Nemanja can still strike to trade it out, and Zero Tenacity just keeping themselves ahead, keeping themselves in front just about. But another awkward engagement from Brute Monster. He lands the tag, knows he can maybe go with the pistol, that HE. Oh, too deep.
Yeah, Vert will be thinking he's lucky stars on that one, but Brute's playing very aggressive. Surely he knew that he tagged him. Wow, that was so risky to go back in for that one. Especially considering Nemanja was 13 HP while he went to reface. Maybe that's why he felt like he needed to go for something a bit more aggressive. But either way, if Masval was full health, I would say it's on. Unfortunately, he's 9. Got a smoke and a molly. Got the bomb. Actually has a free path to the A bomb site right now. But Nemanja's put himself in a very smart position where he should be able to hear it once it gets attempted. And is, sure, it's a very, very long way between them right now, Nemanja and Brute, but they both trust each other. They can do the right thing on the right timing. 15 seconds. Masval's clearing out absolutely everything, and he's seeing nothing. So he has to assume Palace or ramp, really. We'll try and plant safe from ramp. Actually does manage to get away with it. Smart positioning by Masval. But now Nemanja is ahead of the molly, and he's about to be ahead of the smoke. He's actually playing inside of it. Nemanja, you are a madman. The longer you are here, the more risky it is. Brute's picked up the AK to charge his way in. Firebox has not been cleared yet, but now Brute sees it, sees the arm, and that is worrying when Nemanja pushes into the smoke like that. It's unconventional, but it is a 9-3 on the half, and they're very much in control now, Zero Tenacity. We'll see you in a few minutes.
If you wanna be my love, I'll show you what you wanna know. I pack my suitcase, headed out the door, I keep my shoes laced. 2,000 miles away from home, a couple dollars in my pocket, never stopped the boy before. I load my bags and hit the road.
Miles past, turning back, found my track, face the fact, she a cold one. Never gonna settle for none, stay up every night till I won. Don't want a slow rise now, I'm confident opulence isn't a long ride out. When I look back now, I'm astounded. A quiet boy from old age, but always felt the world was a stage, yeah. I celebrate one last late night, my old life, they stay.
I pack my suitcase, headed out the door, I keep my shoes laced. 2,000 miles away from home, a couple dollars in my pocket, never stopped the boy before. I load my bags and hit the road.
I'm headed to LA. 10,000 miles, throw it on the dash. Shit, the 10,000 hours, can't let them pass. Yeah, well, I was putting time in, you was pulled up wildin'. You always had shit to say, now when I see you, it's silence. Thought I have a Grammy by 25. Commas after commas next to dollar sign, yeah. Had to remind myself why I'm living this life. Look at all the late nights, it'll all come in due time, yeah. Made for the fight, for the pain and the climb. Tied to the life I chose. Stay through the night, another day, not a dime. Race against time. I
Well, after a dominant first half on Mirage, it looks like it might be heading into Zero Tenacity's back pocket along with the series. Betera going to try and bring this one back if they can, but it's going to be such an uphill battle. Trav, quick question before we do. Do you think they can do it?
If they win the pistol, yes. If they lose the pistol, no.
Really cut and dry? Really just, you know, plain and simple?
I mean, listen, we all know that the pistol, maybe it's a cliche to talk about how important it is, but there's only one way back into the series here for Betera. And they have been outclassed on map 2. Even if it was an even start, but yeah, the Zero Tenacity really pulled away. They'll be just thinking about Nuke in their minds and thinking how painful that end was for quite a while. But the first kill has come through here for Masval. He's going to work his way into Dodo, and Height does get caught off guard. USP switch to, and there goes Masval. Now it's awkward because Brute is forcing his way out of apartments. They're already up short with that split on toward B, and AVN is just hearing everything right now. He could maybe cut off one or two more players. They're all three going mid. Sinks is going to go searching for him, but now they get the information. Are they going to try and get past him? Are they going to try and fight him? They're just going to avoid him for now, while there is a 2v3 on the site. And Cynics actually makes it the 3v3 overall now. Tenzi taps down one more, and suddenly Chofo's last alive, and he's got no armor. They should have now gauged that with the taps they've done to him. Trying to play with the angle as a smoke kit on Cynics. It should be absolutely fine. And now it certainly is.
It's a little bit scary there for a minute, because Cynics was actually the guy fighting in window, was trying to deal with AVN. And if he goes down with the kit, right, you still have an AVN to deal with. That kit isn't going to be recoverable. And it's just down to the two players on short going really quickly. So there was a lot of twists and turns in that one that really could have went wrong for Betera. But they passed your win condition. They did win the pistol. So it does keep them alive for a little bit longer. But that bomb plant, it's going to facilitate a lot of rifles in the round for Zero Tenacity. You're going to be able to bring forward 3 Galils, a Scout, and a Mac-10, which is definitely a solid buy that you can do something with. And Zero Tenacity, they've got eyes for middle here. That Betera have decided, you know what, we don't really have the util. We don't really have the weaponry that we want. We're going to give it to you for now. But maybe, just maybe, you might have to take these engagements a little bit later on. Height, a little bit awkward. A little bit of damage done, but Zero Tenacity very fast. They're going to be splitting up short here. Betera need to batten down the hatches on B.
They've actually got a decent setup. The bench player, but no one has been dinked immediately. The boosted Cynics now has to do some good work. And you know what he's found too? That's really decent from that position. And the dink. He's done probably the maximum he could possibly do. Masval did get one and has hopped back behind the market smoke, but Brute's headshot Tenzi on short, a tag in toward that market position as well, on toward Vert, and actually Masval got removed anyway, and Brute Monster Scout has just done so much work there. Betera did their best and honestly looked pretty decent on the hold, but again, the star power of Z10 gets them through the round.
It really does, man. And I don't know about you, but just watching, you know, a good scout player, like, obviously, you know, you've got good operas, but the scout, it just takes that little bit more skill to use. And you can just see Brute Monster, he can play that weapons just so well. Lining up the headshot, perfect. Finding that kill, and Zero Tenacity. That's one that's going to sting if you're on the Betera side. You know, they win the pistol, they actually have a chance, but that chance gets taken away pretty much instantly Just like the life of Nemanja. Zero Tenacity going to try and react out A if they can, but the pistols are going to be here and they're connecting on heads. This is a big problem right now for Z10 because they haven't made their way in and they're already hemorrhaging players.
Great shot from height. Choffo, does he clear close right? He does not. So there's some legs to this. The force by war will not be ending. There's ABN. Oh, which would spray on the second. If it was a bit cleaner, maybe we would have had a chance to transfer, but not the case. 10-5. Zero Tenacity still very much in control, but say they lose this, which is obviously the reforce back in. They're only going to have Deagles. One Galil only by the looks of it. And 10-6 will become 10-7 before the gun round. There's a world.
Oh, definitely. There's definitely a world where they can bring this one back. I mean, we're taking our hats off to Zero Tenacity in the last. That one from Betera is ridiculous. Flashes are good out towards mid. Height. Oh, he's a lucky boy to still be alive there. Swing out towards connector. Still trying to take these fights right now, but they're not really going your way until Masval comes in to save the day once again. Nemanja, he's kind of timing and he knows about it. The body spam is good. Got maybe a little bit spooked by the short player there. And Nemanja, I mean, 2 players are low here. This is still very, very doable for the IGL of Zero Tenacity. And they've kind of lost him a little bit here.
Yeah, again, though, we have the issue of Deagle, 3 bullets left. And yeah, he's just waiting for a rotation now to see if one more player overlooks him to make it 1v2. Actually get a rifle picked up, or any weapon, just to have a primary. But just sticking himself in CT, waiting to see what he gets given. Unfortunately, with the bomb top mid, I think he kind of needed to move towards CT and peek toward A quicker than he did. Oh, this is 1 bullet. And he's connected to 1 bullet. It's a headshot anyway. Who cares? Looks sick. And he does go for that 1 more shot. But now he's got the rifle. 30 seconds. And Cynic's actually giving him a lot of opportunities there to pick up different weapons and reload, but okay, no worries. They get it done in the end. Now the EK will have to come through. Now we've got the 10-7 possibility. And Betera can get some sort of bank in their back pocket.
Yeah, build up that economy in this round. That's the name of the game here. Make sure that if you're going to be losing players, you're only losing 1. That's just a must in this round. Because you cannot get kind of drawn into a war of attrition with Zero Tenacity, because unfortunately they will just win that being on the T side. Still, Zero Tenacity, big threats in this one. Players towards Palace are creeping in, but Height on top back should be able to shut down a couple. Simka finds a nice little headshot with that Glock. Getting dinked up is going to be a little bit of a problem, but problem solved very, very quickly. The rifles prevail, as we would expect. And it is only 1 player going down, so it isn't all that bad. And Height still has enough money to bring that AWP straight forward. That luxury, unfortunately for Brute Monster, it is unavailable right now.
Reminder, of course, of where we're at here. That if Zero Tenacity get this one over the line, it will go through to the playoffs, of course, for ESL Challenge League this season, and straight through to the upper bracket semi-finals, which means there'd be 3 wins away from Pro League next season. Betera would go back to the round prior. So, skipping that extra round in such a busy schedule in Tier 2 does make a big difference. Zero Tenacity will know how important that is, not just to them, but to their entire year. Just the feeling of getting close to a LAN, they'll know how much they've worked hard for that. They wanted to prove themselves for so long. I had a chance to interview Simki a couple of times, I think Choffo once as well. Both of them saying to me, listen, all we want is to qualify for a LAN. We've tried so many times, we've got close quite often, just haven't got it done. This would get them 1 extra step closer. Big buy round.
Yeah, it really is. You know, you've heard of the LAN jitters. They have the pre-LAN jitters, which is a little bit of a problem. But they are, right now, Very, very close. Big round. 35 seconds now as they try and sprint out, but instantly it's stopped. It's a well-timed smoke towards the ramp here. Vert, though, the distraction caused will force him out of his situation and out of his position, but still, the fights just aren't going your way right now. You've got 20 seconds if you're AVN to connect on these heads. The double peek towards connector. You're tapping to try and save your life, but you're not able to save yourself and your team, unfortunately. Betera, just a really good stop. Well-timed util as well, just to get that down in front to make sure that they cannot get out. And Zero Tenacity, that's another chance gone by.
Yeah, it's going to get a bit nervy now for Zero Tenacity. They're in a position where they could get caught. We noticed that Masval just... I've watched him in open qualifiers as well, which is just like probably why I've noticed this. But if we're on his player camera and we're in freeze time, switch off immediately. Because he does this like turn DPI up massive spin, which like honestly gives me a headache. It's actually kind of crazy. He does it nearly every single round. It must just be a habit where like he swipes his mouse from one side of the mouse pad to the other. We all have our in-game habits. So that one is a bit more migraine-inducing. But anyway, back to the important things.
He's powering up. You know what I mean?
Honestly.
Getting the energy flowing, you know. I mean, if it works, it works. Like, as you said, everybody has their own thing. Yeah, but I wouldn't be watching it for too long. Definitely. The room would be spinning.
I mean, look, he's 18 and 13. Maybe that's the key. Maybe that's the true key to Counter-Strike 2, and we just don't know about it. Anyway, Z10 have got a half buy here. If Betera deal with this, they're in a very good position to make this game really interesting again. It's these rounds you can't afford to lose or even get close, because money isn't perfect, of course. There's a couple of close rounds, and that is the way you start it for Simki. Now there's issues for Betera.
Oh, Hype misses a chance on that AWP. Not the first time that he's missed an opportunity to collect a kill. And Zero Tenacity are all over this bomb site right now. But that spray from Tenzi's crazy. He gets even a fourth after it as well. He has single-handedly stopped that Zero Tenacity round from really just capitulating the CT side of Betera. And Brute Monster, he's just hoping that they haven't seen him. He is just hoping and praying that they are not going to be looking his way, but they know exactly where he is mollied out, and that round just saved from Tenzi through the smoke, AK spray. That might be one of the rounds of the game.
Yeah, I mean, that is an incredible hold. Like, they could have easily gotten run over there. It's really all down to Tenzi. Once that first kill comes through from Simki, and then, of course, the AWP misses from CT, you feel nervy, always. But the third kill Tenzi got was just a player walking into the bullet, pretty much. Definitely some small amount of luck involved, but overall it was a very clean spray, and the fourth kill was glorious. Huge hold. So now really is game on. Zero Tenacity only one round in front. They're already going to lose Simki toward ramp as well as Cynics and Vert go peeking it together. They know there's a Palace player as well. It's a lot of information. Brute already trying to answer back, but peeking that solo would be suicide.
Yeah, you just can't. And Betera are still actually fully committing towards this bomb site. Now, as time ticks on, they're going to have to rotate players over towards B, because that is currently unmanned. But they're actually going to try and peek in towards middle. They want more information. They want to try and take some more gunfights, but that might not go to plan whatsoever. So Joffo up towards short needs to try and connect up one more. And if he does, maybe it's a little bit different. But still, you've got nobody on this B bomb site. Brute Monster and AVN can get in, and we know how difficult it is to retake this B bomb site. You're going to take a little bit of time, of course, to clear all your angles. Betera are going to be backing themselves in the retake, but they've got zero utility. 3 kits, so that won't be a problem. They just have to rely on their bullets to get them back in.
These are the ones that are so losable, though. Once you have an after plant in position for AVN and Brute, they're going to go aggressive for one. They want to try and recover it into an even standpoint. Tenzi's very ready, and yes, good hold. Use it all down to Brute Monster. One tap on the first, not as well the second. Are you kidding me, Brute? Surely he can't do this one that cleanly. He spotted Vert. He saw him jumping out window. No way. Ready for a swing. He's seen him through the corner of the side, but he whiffs the last attempt. How sick would that have been? But Vert bails Betera out.
Oh, it's about time. It's about time somebody stopped him in the clutch as well. That was nearly so ridiculous. And I was fully expecting him, by the way, to one-tap the third. That is so clean from Brute Monster. And you can see how, you know, close that round actually was there, even with the advantage. You know, you just don't have any util. You have to go in. You've got Zero Tenacity holding the line. And if AVN just does a little bit better there, if he finds that kill in towards Market, Zero Tenacity, they probably convert that round. But instead, that lead that we saw at the end of the first half, that 9-3, that's completely evaporated. 10-10. It's even Steven right now. And Zero Tenacity, all the pressure's on them. But Betera, they've been chasing all game. Now, these are the hardest rounds. When you get neck and neck, when you get level. You thought this game was over, now you're back in it. The pressure now turns to them.
Crazy attempt from Brew. Would have remembered that one for a long time if he actually completed it. Sometimes you can just tell when a player's feeling it. And once that first tap came through, I was like, okay, surely you spray for the second. But no, he tapped him again. But Betera will be delighted with the result. They got away with the round. They've got it back even at 10 apiece. Zero Tenacity will start feeling a bit nervous. Probably would have started feeling a bit nervous a few rounds ago. It's getting really interesting now. We could still have a train decider on our hands. Cynic's going peeking. Oh, there's a flash in to help out. And thankfully Tenzi peeks as well. Good teamwork there. Even though Cynic's playing clearly on tenterhooks. The eyes on stalks, but Vert will swing ramp, catching AVN walking up. Of course, with the plant, Z10 were afforded another buy, but it's not going well.
And you still have to try and find a way into this bomb site where you've got 4 players close by. Do they spot the gun barrel or the opera? They do. Now, step being made over towards middle. This might be a bit risky here for Nemanja. And yeah, big risk peeking into the op like that. Triple swing to deal with Sajafo. Betera right now are taking absolutely no chances. Even with Brute Monster tagged down low, he's never going to be expecting Cynics that close. And Betera, they're going to pull themselves into the lead in this game. It hasn't happened since they were 3-1 up early on, 4 rounds in. But now in the driver's seat in the most important round of the map and of the series so far. Because if they get onto 12 here, they've at least guaranteed overtime. And they still have a chance to play for that deciding map.
Crazy. So this is going to be a dangerous round because we've got the techs in play. It's a full tech eco with the utility, plenty of flashes. Yeah, we've heard deco enough, right? We need to get a few techos in there. Good HE, Cynics will realise what's going on, and the height will get the first and the second. It's now looking a lot more comfortable. No worries. Betera have guaranteed at least overtime. Can you believe it? Cynics takes his time on the tap on the last. The wiggle tells you the round is complete. And Zero Tenacity, they were, what, 10-4, I'm pretty sure? They've collapsed.
Yeah, 10-4 at one stage, which is, you know, just a ridiculous amount of rounds to be in front. And it's not like they haven't had chances to get up onto 11. It's not like Betera have been super clean with a lot of the rounds. There's been a couple of messy moments in there as well. But they've just been able to keep their noses in front and just make sure to do enough to keep themselves in this game. They've fought back very hard to get into this lead. Now you need to make sure that you convert it. But Nemanja already a lovely opening as nobody can see anything right now. Smoke's absolutely everywhere in middle. Nato going to expose maybe a couple of players. Transfer just not there from AVN, but he does enough with 1. And Vert still standing on 6 HP. How is he still alive? And he's just desperately hoping that nobody spams him in connector.
Ah, oh, there we go. Brute sees a leg. I was going to say, I actually respect him pushing up there on low HP, because it's like, okay, well, you already know I'm there. You've already put me down that low. I may as well try and go for something a little bit more goofy to try and recover it, get 1 extra cheeky kill rather than rotate in and probably just die on 1 bullet anyway. So it does go down in the end. Can Zero Tenacity get this to the full round 24 of regulation? Well, that's 1 kill back here for Betera. Nemanja's planting not like tight into triple, which means the wallbang can come through and the nade finishes him off. So The retake is on. Height and Cynics obviously have money and obviously will be going for it, but unfortunately not expecting Simki so close up still. Now Cynics will definitely give it a look to at least do damage, right? Because actually getting all the kills here is quite impactful going in toward this final round of regulation. It's worth, even though he can't win the round now, it's worth looking for the kills. Brute Monster will get him in the end. Actually, it's a no-scope, but 2 alive is obviously a little bit worse than 3 alive for Z10. So that extra kill was worth it. They might be down to a couple of Galils. And they can drop 2, maybe have 1 Galil bought out to get extra utility. Let's see. There we go. So, this is the chance for Betera, or do we have extra rounds?
Yeah, that's the question. I don't know. I have absolutely no idea, but I'm here for it. I'm strapped in. I'm ready to go, whatever the outcome is. Cynics. Oh, Cynics was knifed there actually by a teammate. That's a little bit of a problem. A little swipe done to him already. Hasn't even seen anyone. Hasn't even had the chance to get into an engagement. Brute Monster has ticked in that Molotov, and that HG. It's just such a horrible way to start, isn't it?
He had the spawn and he had the timing to get there. Like, he does the right thing, and if he doesn't take a tick to the molly, sure, he still eats the nade, but they might not know he's ahead of it, and now you just feel like, well, I can't just throw my life away on 38.
And that really kind of throws the plan up in the air, right? Because Zero Tenacity might have actually wanted to commit off a kill there in towards B, or at least fake a little bit of a commitment. Now they're going to reorganize and reroute over towards middle to try and make their way in, but still Betera have a decent bit of safe util that they can just dump on top of the Mania. He gets stuck on a corner as well. It's just not going to plan at all for Zero Tenacity, standing in Molotovs, getting chunked down by HEs, but still everybody's alive here in this round. It's still very dangerous in the first kill with 40 seconds left on the clock as height falls.
Oh, this is huge. Can they get it through to overtime? The Manuel was going to peek in toward window. That's maybe a bit of an over push, but with 30 seconds, maybe he felt like he had to go for something. Cynics will answer one back, but that's a really big kill from Chofo. 3v3, 25. Still 2 players around A. Vert CT, they've got, of course, that position in default box of Masval as well. And AVN, does he know? I think he knows now. Is he going to go for a fake to try and remove him? Surely Masval activates, but Chofo's ready for it. That fake might have just recovered the round, because look where Chofo is. He's waiting for Cynics, and the bomb plot will come through. 1v1. Vert has a kit, and he gets a fresh M4 off the ground. 16 bullets is enough, but he's choosing to hold it on the corner, but he didn't feel like he could. He comes off it. It's so nervy. Another tap, and Chofo will see he is not on it. Oh, it's so back and forth in this one. The flash to peek top con. He knows that Chofo's in the corner. It's a standoff for overtime. Oh, the map completion. And Chofo takes the dink, but gets the kill. Quad kill to save Mirage.
M4 versus AK, if you trade headshots, it's only going to go one way, unfortunately. But what a recovery. What a great read that there was somebody in towards default there. That AVN was just going to tap the bomb. Expecting
step, I think, no? Like when you were trying to jiggle.
Maybe. I didn't quite catch it, but it was just a really good adjustment. No, honestly, I did not think they were going to get onto that bomb site whatsoever. And you could see that he couldn't swing him because of the crossfire. He knew that. So, best option, just plant and hope that your teammate takes care of him, which Sejafo did. Overtime. We need more. And I'm not a hater of more.
No, it's been actually quite an entertaining one, this one. And I'm enjoying it very much. I can tell you, of course, that the B stream match is also a bit mad right now. Sinners won map 1, but Navi Jr. taking them to overtime on map 2. It's been a series that's been played out multiple times this year already, and actually in the last month or so. A bit of a brawl, that one, between those two. But it's been a brawl here as well, and Chofo will come out bruised and battered. He only had, I think it was 13th kill of the game, by the way, after that quad kill. But it doesn't matter when you get them, as long as you do at the right moment.
Speaking about the right moment, the push towards top middle was absolutely perfect there. AVN dealt with. And Brute Monster needs to be very careful. Tensy's making noise, and even that shot, he just makes it look so easy, and it's definitely not. Brute Monster now exploring his options over towards B could be a little bit of a problem. With the bomb on his back, Masval in towards under, he's going to need to try and clear out this position, but Masval continues to creep, and the timing is just not going to favour him. He manages to get a shot off. Unfortunately, it doesn't connect, and Simka is just way too far away to do anything of sustenance. And instead, Betera, they will strike first in OT.
Crazy. Classic win the first round of overtime when you've been trying to complete it in regulation more than once. Right time for the attack for Zero Tenacity. They've struggled in the second half. They know that one round might actually be enough to keep them in touch in overtime, considering their CT was that solid.
Actually, a little bit of a longer one, it would seem. I believe this is a technical, so
yeah,
we will be waiting for this one to go back live. But still, I mean, this game has had it all, to be fair. I mean, I'm definitely not disappointed. Whoever wins, if we go to a third, I'm happy, because we've had some really magic moments and some almost moments as well. You know, the 1v4 on Nuke, the brute monster tap into the nearly 1 versus 3. Yeah, it's been definitely one of the more enjoyable games I've done this year for certain, and it's still not done just yet. Betera advantage, Zero Tenacity. Now, where do they want to head? Where do they want to go to kick things off? They were very passive in that first round of overtime. This time, Betera want to get aggressive. They want to try and take the fight to them. Tenzi up around that smoke, just playing around top middle. Zero Tenacity still laying weight. It's a pretty similar round to the last. Don't want to eat that flashbang. Here comes the swing, but Sajafo, this time, he's ready.
Yeah, really big opening kill. It would be right that on your ESL debut, we get a third map decider. I think we're owed it. You're owed it. Deserve it. Good peek from height. We'll catch AVN as he just tried to retreat back into lower as well. But look at Nemanja. I mean, he's got himself into another banger position here. Height has no idea of this. He'll just be talking to his teammate and say, please do not overpeak here. Do not give another kill away for free. I have got the round in the palm of my hand. He's gone away toward that scene. Look at the minimap right now. Yeah, Height's running in. Made all the sound in the world. Emmanuel will get the kill and it'll give Height a jump scare. But Sandwich could get 2. Oh, it's 3. My word. He's going to hold down the fort with 4. And that's 14.
How has Vert gotten 4 there? Nemanja even seen him as well. I don't know if he quite caught a glimpse of him, but when he was kind of jumping across CT, there actually was a moment that he could see him. But he didn't quite catch it, and he just peeks out from Sandwich, catching everybody with their pants down, trying to make their way out ramp. And you think that Nemanja's made the play of the round there? Nah, Vert steps up massively. That is huge. And Betera now, 14-12. One more, and it's a clean OT on the CT side anyway. Have 3 chances to close this one out and force a train, but Zero Tenacity trying to step on the gas a little bit here and try and head up short, but it just gets instantly swatted away towards mid, towards the apartments. Sajafo trying to catch a timing, but he's just losing too many players around him, and even he cannot get something done. Brute Monster hasn't taken any damage. They don't know his whereabouts right now, but an AWP in a 1v5, this is just so unwinnable. There's just definitely no chance that he can get his way back into this one, but it's a good place to start with the first.
Jump onto the stairs and go for a no-scope, but not to be. Clean CT sweep for Betera. Sure, Z10 had a great regulation on CT as well, but they're going to have to keep it that way. They're going to have to keep it that way to keep this one going. What an insane couple of rounds from Betera. Especially Vert showing up when necessary. The one position you could be in, right? And that sandwich position that actually could have gotten someone a multi. Maybe you could argue if someone was Palace somehow, or Firebox even, that they could have got to. But 4 is unreal, and that is the one that kind of killed the Z10 spirit, it feels like.
does. That really was a kick in the teeth, unfortunately, for Zero Tenacity. But, you know, the tag is a good place to start in this round. You know, let's not rule them out just yet. We've seen a big comeback from Betera. This is definitely a lot smaller than what Betera had to do.
Main damage is already pretty significant. As well, waiting behind that B apartments re-smoke. Bomb still spawn. Decisions made yet at all. Just a ramp watch for height on low HP.
He's just very, very patient right now. And Betera, you know, even though they discovered a little bit over towards mid, it's almost like they did not like the space that was being given to them. It felt like it was too good to be true. So they're just going to go back into their bread and butter, into a little bit of an A execute here to try and get out onto this site. Sajafo though on default could be a big problem. He's worried about connector. Well-timed smoke in towards Palace, but Tenzi's going to swing through this surely. Brute Monster need to connect on the first mate, and unfortunately you were a bit slow on the trigger. Sajafo gets spammed down. Brute Monster is going to fall, and so is that A bomb site. Nemanja, is he the hero that is needed? Can he step up once again? But the spam down ticked away low, and there's a lurk even through connector. This is the pinch that really they need to be concerned about for going for another multi-kill, but this time the spam not good enough, trying to get off the site. Cynics a headshot surely to seal it, and AVN a 1 versus 3. Step heard, flash comes in, and one bullet will do. Betera close out Mirage, and finally Trav, you're going to get to see a train.
Yeah, unbelievably so as well. I mean, I've only seen one this year. I feel like I've been robbed of many train opportunities, but this is one I have been given, and honestly, it feels like Zero Tenacity have been kind of robbed as well. They should have had a 2
for them to decide to start T here. But yeah, I mean, I'm pretty much scarred from the way that train was when it was, you know, originally brought into the pool, because as a CT, you know, you just couldn't hold them out, team main. I think that adjustment to push T-spawn back was just, it was so necessary, because it was absolutely ridiculous, just the space that you were able to create early on. And we're already ready to go into this pistol. Knife round 1 by Z10, as we said. And it's going to be Betera starting out on this T side. It's a slow walk to try and make their way close to pop. They were thinking about maybe going down B, but they're actually just trying to clear it. Now they need to be careful. Double stacking towards pop here, and Tenzi already with the first. Nemanja trying to find a little bit more, but unable to do so. It's just a 1 kill now. 2 players already forced out of the round for Zero Tenacity, and an uphill battle already.
Rotation coming through from AVN, and they've got E-box control now. Betera, they actually have the advantage, you would think, and with Maswell finding Simki, it's so awkward for AVN on the corner of the site. He was actually left last alive in the end. Chaffo got found as well. 2 for Cynics, 2 for Maswell. Not exactly the most elaborate pistol, but one that feels like it guarantees trades and actually maybe favourable duels.
Yeah, I mean, you usually back the USBs at the long range there when they try and make their way out onto the bomb site, but Zero Tenacity decide to go, and I've seen them do it a lot on their pistols on train. They like to, you know, double stack in towards pop, because if somebody walks your way, you can just instantly shut them down. But fair play to Betera, they had their wits about them. They were not going to be caught off guard by that. Sajafo, he has a little bit of information over towards Ivy. That's a well-timed smoke to just force them back. In the meantime, Zero Tenacity have cleared all of A main. They've decided not to smoke it. They've left it open. No smokes available, unfortunately, for them, but they're very mobile here. They're pretty much just going all around the map trying to gather as much info as possible.
We know the Brute Monster Scout can be dangerous. We saw it earlier. See if there's an opportunity for him to deliver again, but that's pushed up on a pretty decent timing here. Brute's kind of missed that to react quickly, and yeah, crosses the line to give a bit more space and control toward that position. Cynics has already lurked out. Tap away with the Mac 10. Very awkward actually at that range with the Mac 10. And Cynics obviously did get caught out there. He even had armor obviously and a helmet too, which makes that Mac 10 pretty weak. But Vert will eventually remove Brute. They try and pick toward back lane, but Juffo will hit a 1 dig. The round's still on despite how low they all are. Emmanuel is behind everything! Oh, but Maswell was holding for it. And that opportunity goes a-begging. I think he's aware of the possibility of the player being in pop as well. And Simki's missed that headshot. They've recovered things here.
They really have. And it is that kind of unwritten rule when you're playing against Zero Tenacity. If you haven't found a man yet, look behind you, because he's probably there. And unfortunately, he had the round in the palm of his hand. If he manages to find a kill there, that really just messes Betera up on their endeavours in this one. AVN is still lucky to actually be alive after that lurkout heaven didn't really go to plan whatsoever. But he's found a double kill. He's going to hang on to that 5-7, hopefully. And he will be able to do so. It is always kind of a hold your breath moment when you're that low on HP. Even, you know, if you're, especially with Train, I'm not quite sure about the bomb radiuses just yet, but I am just scared, like Ancient, for example, because if you are just in, even if you're like very close at all, like, or very far away, you're just dead. It's just impossible to hang on to anything. You have to get so far away from it. But look, for him, he's still standing. It's not much of a save, but at least it's a little bit of armor. It's a well-timed HE. Look at that.
Yeah, there is like a new, not new necessarily, but I think like the meta now when it comes to like stopping T's coming out main quickly is left, right click and nade over the top. Is basically a full eco here. So Maswell will be loving life. He's the main man so far in this game. Actually gets a full quad kill spray to up his KD to 8-0. But yeah, I think there's a left-right click nades you can throw over the top. Double HE to stop them from making their way out quickly is quite common now. Now that the timings of the spawns have changed slightly.
Yeah, the ones, you know, the molly that kind of lands over towards Pop. And the HE, that is obviously used by nearly every single team now. But actually, funny enough, Zero Tenacity don't usually throw it that much when they're on their T side. Is what I've noticed. I watched a couple of their train demos there yesterday, and you know they don't usually do it. So I think actually when they're on their T side, Pop is a little bit of a weakness that maybe Betera, if they seen what I seen, they might be able to exploit it, should I say, because Zero Tenacity, they love to fight for Brown HUD on that T side, but the CT side just yet, we've a little while to go before we get there, but already it's not really bared much fruit at all. First gun round coming in. Nemanja already getting close towards back red. Flash going to catch him right between the eyes, and the aggression down Pop now. Simka needs to be very cautious.
Huge round for Zero Tenacity. They've got to win this one. Betera already have got a good start. At 10 running in, and that's a nightmare for Chopo. He does like 96-4. The classic A1S feeling like you're shooting blanks. Cynic gets away with his life. They get another kill thanks to Maswell again too. Simki will get one in response, but they have a lot of information about where Zero Tenacity are playing from now. Thankfully he's found Maswell as well. Finally his first death. But Vert is on the side of the site, and he's taken not just one, he's taken two. And now Brute is forced to force his way forward and will miss the shot on height. If he hits that one, he's got an opportunity in the 1v1 because there's no instant trade possibility. Betera clean sheet intact still.
Yeah, and it's surprising as well because you'd probably back Brute Monster to hit that shot the way that he's been playing in this series, especially in those clutch situations. He just seems to be the man. He's just ice cold, cool as you like, but that time misses an opportunity and gets punished for it. And tactical timeout used already. That spells out to me that Zero Tenacity are already feeling the pressure of this one. Betera building up 4 rounds on the T side, and as you were saying, you know, it's not as T-sided as it once was. It is very much CT-sided. So if Betera are able to get, you know, maybe 5, maybe 6, it could already be job well done. And looking at the investment here from Zero Tenacity, it's a half by its SMGs to maybe get in the faces of Betera, but 100% Betera are the favourites in this one. Do not get it twisted.
Yeah, crazy, right? I mean, say we played this game a month ago, I'd probably be saying to you, okay, I mean, Zero Tenacity have won like 5 of their last 6. There shouldn't be too much of a risk here. They're the better team, always have been. But recent results have changed things, and Zero Tenacity have lost their touch on Train. You're going to go for one of the classic new strats, of course, on the newer Nuke. You can double push brown holes a little bit faster than you could before and get a nice little peek up and toward the broken wall. Can Cynics respond?
Eyes on pop. Simka just with the jiggle here, spotted out. Cynics goes with a little bit of the pre-fire, and they're actually ready for that crunch. It was a well-timed one for Zero Tenacity, but the AK's up made the difference there in that situation, and Betera are going to have to call this one off. Nemanya's still pushing up close. He's hearing the steps now go all the way towards A main. And that's a lot of information gathered there by Nemanja. They know exactly what's going on here. They can rotate Brute Monster all the way out. Problem is, they've only got one rifle in the round. That's on Nemanja, and he insists on playing close.
It's awkward. They're already close left. Should surely get instantly traded, and that's exactly what happens. Height. Good catch. To at least get one back, make it a 2v2. They now know Brute is back bomb. That position is very hard to tap out because of that jiggle you can do, but Cynics is accurate. Another great kill from him. Now it's all down to Chofo. He's got an MP9 of all things. He's in a very awkward position that they might not look at this because you don't really check the position anymore, but he's whiffed. And honestly, he would have been instantly traded anyway, probably, right? But it's a shame that he's whiffed. It would have been extra money in this following round to maybe facilitate more of a buy for Nemanja, perhaps. But that just tells the tale that nothing's going right now.
They can't buy around at the minute. And that's just it. They just cannot buy around. And if they would, they could, to just get on the board, to just settle themselves. And sometimes that's a big difference maker. Just actually winning one to settle the nerves in such an important game like this. That HE is actually going to miss. So not a lot of damage done towards Pop, and even Tenacity slowing it down right now. They're actually just going to try and walk close. This is very risky. Nade open the smoke. You're not really going to discover anything. Masvaldo has his wits about him. Very aware that that was a possibility that Z10 might be going for. A well-timed smoke from Brute Monster. That AWP going to just still hold the line for a minute. Height with a shot in frustration. Or maybe just a little bit of a fortunate spam to maybe take down Brute Monster, but not going to happen.
Jack, I think they're changing something up a little bit here. I think they could just... If they burst upper and lower at once here, they've got 2 defenders to worry about, but I feel like that might just shock Zero Tenacity a little bit. But they are going back toward... Yeah, okay, they are going back toward Brown Halls. I wonder if they might just walk top now, but no, I think they are committing to this B play. You've got the Org on AVN. Probably the perfect gun for the map, honestly. And AVN will get the opening. Fall back down, can play the long range. Remember how insane the Org and the Krieg were when Train was in the pool, when they were pre-nerf back in like 2019. But there are the trades. Chofo does go down in the end. They look for more and won't see anything. So they get the 3v3. And now this is awkward for Zero Tenacity. They might have got the killer piece, but I favour Betera here.
Yeah, time ticking right now. Brute Monster and Simka try and make their way out, and steps hard. You know there's at least a couple coming your way, but the real danger is Nemanja in the backline here. Masval has to turn and set his sights on him, and he's spotted him and taken him down at least. Simka though finding one back in the meantime, but still time is just not your friend right now, and Brute Monster posted up on heaven. Nobody is going to give him a peek whatsoever, so he is going to have to fade into the distance and fade away, knowing that they've lost yet another round. It's a 6-0 start for Betera, and this is something that Zero Tenacity definitely did not plan for.
Are we playing the pre-T-spawn change version of Train? Are we playing launch Train right now? Because this is insane. They're making it look incredibly T-sided. It is not really at the moment. It's more even / slightly CT. And Zero Tenacity just can't find a way to get in. They got the 1-for-1 on the hold, but Betera still had, after all that, like an extra smoke to hold off on the afterplant. It was a great check from Maswell on the flank. He's up to 11 and 2 now. Everything is a struggle. And sure, something important to mention is that if they lose this game, they're still through to playoffs, Zero Tenacity. But, of course, Betera will get to skip a round, which is just so lovely to have in your back pocket. Nice 1D from Nemanja to start this one, and AVN gets one more with the MP9. Have an advantage here with Brute's AWP still up, of course. Best chance they've had in a while.
The only chance that they've had in a while. This is still just such a dangerous round, though. I mean, if you're Betera, you cannot feel comfortable. If you're Zero Tenacity, you know that it's not over the line, because if Brute Monster is unsuccessful in finding his first kill, big problems then arise. They're thinking about going for a little bit of a boost here. This could work out, but Brute Monster's ready that time, and finally he gets on the board. The jiggle's coming in. He's just buying as much time as possible right now, but eventually, when he swings out for a second, he will be put down. It's pistols and SMGs now that have to be the difference maker in Nemanja. How about that? Headshot from the IGL, 30 seconds left for Vert to try and creep his way out, but there's so many angles to be worried about, and surely Simka is just going to bide his time to strike, and finally Z10 have won.
And they've kept the AWP and a couple of AKs as well, actually critical. Can they get out of this half with 4 or 5? I think if it's 3, I think Betera win. If they've got 4 or 5, I think it's game on.
I'm right there with you. I think, yeah, if they get 4 or 5, it's definitely doable, but
6 would be nice.
Yeah, 6 would be, 6 would be ideal. This is a little bit quicker here from Betera now. This would be just such a cruel way to lose a round here, but look at Nemanja again, just a double spray down, and Tenzi unable to do exactly what Nemanja just did to his teammates. Still though, space being occupied from Betera. They are out, but the problem is they're not really doing all that much. There's nowhere really to go here. The flash is actually going to catch Cynics right in the face here, and Brute Monster missing a few more opportunities means Cynics is still alive, but Sajafo surely just waiting once again for his chance to take a player down, and now once height is spotted, nobody is going to peek him, and everybody is just going to play together. Zero Tenacity, this is not the time to go over committing into fights that you do not need to take, exactly like that one.
Yeah, it's important to survive with 3 up here. I think you just allow Height to save this, honestly. Because if he does, it actually like splits up the economy on Betera as well. He can't really drop anything. It's, you know, $50 too little for a Galil. So if he saves, then they're going to be pretty hamstrung in the following round. Makes the money awkward. How's he actually going to look for it, though? Honestly, for Height, I respect this. You don't actually expect him all the way toward Ivy at this timing. Brute guesses it at the last second. But Height has a chance here. He's got 20 seconds to play with. Imagine if he no-scoped Chofo there. Thankfully, he's in a good position. But you know what? I think getting that kill and giving it a go, fair play to him, actually means that the money isn't now uneven. So, sure, they can still save the AWP. Can Zero Tenacity, but it's some more damage for Betera. They've got a hero AK in the following round too, so damn, actually it's weird, right? They're 6-2 up. I feel like we're no closer to knowing who's going to win this. I feel like it can still just flip-flop either way.
It is that kind of game though. It really is. Oh, Betera, all of them creeping towards B here, and this is a nice call to go for 3 stack towards the B bomb site. You've got Nemanja towards upper, AVN and Brute Monster posted towards lower. The op here in this situation with AVN ready to strike right after it. You might not be expecting it. AVN is sent in to seal the deal with Nemanja there as well, and it's just a complete shutdown of a round. A really good read there from Zero Tenacity on a low bite. Betera, more often than not, will probably go over towards B, and this time Zero Tenacity completely ready and simply no way in.
He will nab the AK, but Nemanja's seen him pick it up off the floor. He's like, wait, where did that AK go? It just disappeared. But, yeah, he knew what was going on. 6-3. There's the 3 that I said is the kind of bare base minimum. 4 gives them a chance. 5 is excellent. 6 would be incredible.
I mean, 6 would be perfect if you can get there. Betera are going a little bit stale here in the last couple of rounds. You know, even when they were up against the low buy, he couldn't really do all that much. But still, they want to go and fight for these brown halls. And still, Zero Tenacity want to run this op and rifle setup. This time, AVN a little bit more passive in the situation. If you're Betera, you don't just want to go swinging wide into this. It's actually a horrible setup to try and deal with. And once again, they're going to try and peek in. The wide swing comes in. This time, AVN gets a double. Brute Monster has to fall away. But job done for now.
Oh, the Manye was holding it. Actually, both of them looked pretty ready for that, but Manye couldn't hit the first bullet headshot, and that's what makes the difference. Always hard to gauge where headshot height is, of course, when you've got a player kind of above you on more of an elevated angle. And that's what cost Nemanja. Good headshot from Vert. Keeps around alive. Brute still playing close with the AWP here. And he's got to worry about 2 separate angles. What's his timing like? Oh, it's a big miss. Now it's worrying. You should realise they can drop down onto the site. There's a rifle rotating in, but thankfully for Brute, he plays it aggressively, actually pushes up on the sidewalk, and he doesn't just get that one, he gets the following on Tenzi as well to close the round out. Zero Tenacity have woken up from their slumber.
Brute Monster has woken up as well, man. He was missing so many shots, and even at the beginning of that round, he missed 2 opportunities to take players down. So even for himself, that's just a sigh of relief. Saying, alright, okay, I'm hitting shots now. Maybe, you know, I'll get back the feeling, because he was just getting completely shut down and shut out of this game early on. And on a map like Train, you need your opper. You really do, to just find and deliver those kills. The long range engagements, you know, it is such a long map that the op is just so necessary. And now Betera down to pistols. This time it's going to be a little bit of an A play, although it's going to be a pop with no flashes. They've only got a single smoke, so if they are just going to head on out, they're just going to have to dry run it out and hope they have some success.
Oh, Cynics. Kind of overlooked there by Brute Monster. Thought Choffo was holding a wider line. Awkward, and hang on. Now Choffo's just been digged by Height from the back of Ivy. Now it's awkward. Simki has to peek and help out. There are 2 players in front of him. He needs the second, but Vert is just jumping behind the girder. Oh, that's so awkward for Simki. Finally, he pulls out the sidearm and actually gets the kill with the tech. Tech v tech action. And it leaves it all down to Masval. He's got a whole 45 seconds, but he's only got 26 HP. Very awkward round for Zero Tenacity.
Look at AVN. Look at this position from him. He's pushed in towards A main. This is going to be the freest kill of the series for him. Masval is never checking this whatsoever. He just clotheslines him. 5 rounds for Zero Tenacity, and they might get that 6th that they're after. It's feeling like it. They've come back into this game after being so quiet and 6 rounds down. They might get 6 in a row. And honestly, I would favour Zero Tenacity. If they get that 6th round, you have to feel that they can maybe do the business on their T side. Betera, although a close round, a close call, unfortunately, still can't get off that cursed 6.
Wallbangs being attempted, and look at Brute and Simki. They're charging up toward Pop, and Brute shotgun AWPing. Still comfortable to go for peaks like this, and he's going in even deeper for it. Respect. Zero Tenacity not holding anything back here. Almost an awkward lineup outside the A bomb site. But Vert is now 1v4. And you know what I said for Zero Tenacity? 6 would be amazing. Guess what? I can't believe it. They've gotten 6. 6 rounds in a row after being down 6-0. What a funny old game and a funny old half. It's game on in the final half of the day. Who's going to those upper semi-finals in playoffs? We'll see you in a minute to find out.
Doing what you do when I lay back, holding on to you. Ooh. something new. Yeah. Got my senses here on overload. All my body is for you to hold. Ooh, ooh, ooh. Feel like something new. Yeah. And I never thought that you got me wanted. Never thought that never thought that ooh. Never thought that that I'd be saying you feel more like a dream. Yeah. You feel like something new. You feel like something. You feel like something new. You feel like something. I feel like I'm in another galaxy. Take my time in your eternity. Ooh, ooh, ooh. Feel like something new. Yeah. And I never thought that you got me wanted. Never thought that ooh. Never thought that that I'd be saying you feel more like a dream. Yeah. Feel like something. Feel like something. Feel like something.
Welcome back. We are getting active here in this second half. It's going to decide who is going to advance past the round of the losers, move into the playoffs. Of course, if they do go and lose this game, either team, it's not over for them. They still get into playoffs, but you want to skip that extra round, and we are absolutely just jumping into the action here, straight into the pistol. Masval has heard a lot of players go by him now. He's seen a lot, but only claimed the first and needs to worry about his behind as well. Masval in a little bit of trouble, but still just doing enough to stay alive. All over the site though, R0 Tenacity, but Betera are coming back with the important kills. Sajofo, the last player standing there, put under so much pressure, but he's running out of ammo. Julie's delivered to his doorstep, but so is a headshot. Defuse pulled off, and Betera, they will save themselves in that pistol, but my god, was that messy.
Their first round in 6, hilariously, after the first half went 6 in a row for both teams. Yeah, huge recovery. Masval there was really struggling. Getting the one was good, but then he was getting pinched from two sides. Had no idea where to look. Worried about Ivy flank. Worried about the player pushing out main box. Just about gets away with it. Now then, with the plant, of course, for Zero Tenacity, they will be buying. The AK's up, the Galil's up. Got a scout in play as well. Always dangerous when Brute is got his grubby mitts on that. But a nice little play here from Betera, playing it a little bit more aggressively. But Nemanja, oh my word, I actually like that play from Betera to, you know, go deep with the smoke, have a look toward the left-hand side, see if anyone's playing behind the box yet. But Nemanja had a gap. He could play on the corner of the molly in the smoke and get the kill. And Vert has failed in his upper push. Oh dear, this will be big for Z10.
Oh, it'll be very big indeed. Nemanja doesn't get that kill. He does most of the dirty work there though on that one. Betera, How has it come to this? You haven't even picked up a single kill in this round. This was meant to be the one to get you really going on your CT side. Still, it might do. Tenzi with a double. Tenzi gets a third as well. Nemanja is low, tagged up by the scout. Nemanja just needs another body shot to deal with him. And he's going for the wall bangs. Nemanja decides to swap over to his trusty deagle. But Height has just come in through the back door to shut him down. And it was an unlosable round for Zero Tenacity. You were thinking, now they're on the brink of losing it. Unless AVN can do it all. Can he do the business once again? But no, he can't. It's another Tenzi 4K. And man, oh man, Betera, they can wipe the sweat off their foreheads after that one.
How many hero plays have we had from like a Betera player? The Vert quad kill in Sandwich on Mirage. I mean, you've had multiple on Train already in the first half of the first half. And Tenzi, on Mirage as well, he had one where he peeked that bench smoke, if you remember, and got a quad kill. Sure, it was against an eco, but it was still really clean. This one's very, very important. In a slow game otherwise, he's the hero. And Zero Tenacity, interestingly, not wanting to give up this situation. Usually, we might go for an eco here. With only 2 players alive, we're seeing a lot more lately. Teams are not waiting. They're continuing to force in if they can get even 1 AK up.
I don't hate it. 2 players surviving on the other side. You know, you can break the banks to the CTs, but oh, that is going to break the heart of AVN there. That spam, big problem. Zero Tenacity, oh, still walking through. Height needs to be a little bit careful. So Jaffo will find the opening, but it's Height still swinging wide to find a little bit more. They're just being shut down. It was a well-timed Molotov to make sure that they do not get out, and they do not get anything from that one. The force equates to nothing, and it's back to the drawing board for Z10.
Oh dear. Could that be an early nail in the coffin? They tried the double force. It's not worked. The vaguely out of meta second force, even though you didn't take your opponents down to 1 player, only 2, but they took the gamble. Could they now pay for it? Reminder, both teams are through to playoffs. This is a game that could skip around for Betera, and Cynics is already taking matters into his own hands. He's now gone all the way through B. He's teamed up with Height. He's got Maswell in support. The 3 Deagles that remain will have to hit some bangers.
The Ivy creep is something to be a little bit concerned about, as this engagement does happen. Jumping SMG is a horrible thing to deal with if you're Simkid, though. And that molly is going to land at his feet. The Ivy fight just goes absolutely nowhere, though. Another well-timed smoke to make sure that Zero Tenacity will not get through. And Brute Monster solo with a Glock, never going to happen. 10-6 now, Trav. They fought valiantly, let's be real, to get back into this one. Zero Tenacity, is it all coming down, crumbling around them?
Youch. Youch. 10-4 on map 2.
The oh dear and the youch really just sum it up in the last 2 rounds.
Listen, 10-4 on map 2, mate. I mean, Betera just having a, I guess you could say, dream run. Kind of flow state performances across the entire season thus far. They've only lost 1 BO3, I'm pretty certain. 1 in the group stage. Let's check who that was against. The one team they lost to was 500. They beat Cybershoke and Namiga 2-0 and Fireflux and Sashi 2-1. They lost to 500 2-1. That gets them into the high seed group, of course, in playoffs. Or in the stage 2, I should say. And now just a couple of rounds away from playoffs. They beat Namiga. Namiga have been very up and down lately, despite how much we know. We love Xanta, we love Zwei. It's a fun team. They showed actually, you know, acceptable results in Pro League. But Betera could be in Pro League themselves if they keep up this form.
Real monster of a HE over the top there to tag Simka down, and Zero Tenacity, it's all on this to try and swing out onto the B bomb site. 2 players out upper, and you do find a double kill. Vert needs a little bit of assistance, but he's not going to get it in time. So you get out. You could get this bomb plant down. So Joffa wants to turn to look at his flank, and there's just 1 player to deal with. Masval being very patient on the approach. A 1 versus 2 required from him, and he has been the man really to step up and do a lot for his team. But is he going to clear this close angle? No, he is not. So Zero Tenacity, when it's needed, when it's required, once again, they deliver.
And it's very often been Choffo throughout the entire series, it has to be said. Even when he was like, what? I don't know, like 7 and 13, or maybe actually even less than that on Mirage. He won that ridiculous clutch.
Yeah.
And to take it to overtime. All in vain in the end, but yeah, that's big. And now, money is okay for Betera. Like, I think 2 players probably have enough to buy next round, especially if 1 or 2 of them saves. But it's getting interesting now. This game just will not be completed that easily, it feels like. Synix has charged through once again, by the way. That's a strat that he's loving to put into play with the SMG. Getting an opening and teaming up back in that pop position. Forcing an opening kill on AVN. And Height is ready for Choffo, just walking up Ivy. 5v3. Pain. Again for the T side.
Yeah, it's just dismay, it's misery. And it loves company as Brute Monster's going to be joining there. Nemanja finds a headshot back, but he needs a little bit more, panicked by the op peeking into him. But surely there's just no way in, and Height is just lining them up and knocking them down with that AWP. Nemanja has to go charging forward. He has to take matters into his own hands. Height going to try and get that reload off, but Nemanja crisp on the angle for the headshot. Trying to maybe try and get a bomb plant here. Oh, the check, the clear. Nemanja's got 2, and he's got a path towards this B bomb site. This round not done just yet. If he decides to take it, but he doubles back. He's walking back into 2 players here. He doesn't know it, but he might have just cost his team the round here, and yeah, he has done. He had a chance at that clutch in a 1 versus 2 in the post plant, but unbeknownst to him, instead gets shut down by Masval, and required of them another tactical timeout to try and decipher this Betera defense.
(11-7), 2 away from keeping this incredible streak in ESL Challenger League this season going. There's Masval's wiggle. Customary. It's like Zorta's playstyle, you know? Like when you watch Zorta play, he's got very distinct movement style and aiming style that is quite obvious. Like if you didn't have any nameplates, you'd know who it was.
Yeah. Zorta, actually, funny enough, he had casting the final with him. He was just bouncing a ball off the wall, like, and catching it in between rounds.
That's like what Formula 1 drivers do, like before races, to practice their reactions. Love that. Nemanja charging his way out main. And he'll get an opening on Tenzi, to be fair to him. That's pretty good considering there are 2 players about to face. As well will respond. Huge round now because Z10's money again is all over the place. They've got 2 Mac 10s on T-Train against a gun round. For all intents and purposes, that is not what you want.
That is some peak there from Simka. My, oh my. Synix taken down. Oh, Sajafo thinks he has a time and he's been spotted. Masval needs to collect that kill. If Sajafo gets through there in the backlines, that is a fox in the hen house. So that's just instantly dealt with. Brute Monster going to try and walk through the smoke. How's the timing going to go? It's going to go badly for his team because he loses a teammate in the meantime. 2 versus 2 though. You've still got a chance of Masval revealing his position. 50 seconds. Height now getting a little bit closer. That AWP needs to try and drop AVN, and the timing, the turn, costs him his life. Brute Monster. He was hitting everything that moves in the last round of the first half with that AWP. Now he's got an AK, and we need another monster of a clutch. 1 versus 2. Step being made in towards connector, and 30 seconds left. He's just trying to find something, anything at all. But this wrap around towards pop from Height is going to be huge. Brute Monster, back turn, knife out, and shut down. 12-7. Betera. They've got 5 chances to close this series out.
Unreal. And you know, our player to watch, Nemanja, had a pretty solid series overall, right? Like, I mean, he had a very good map 1 in terms of ADR. He was putting himself around everywhere. Map 2, a little bit more quiet, but still, you know, fine. Map 3, again, he's the only one positive for his team. But Betera just won't say die in ESL Challenger League this season. They are on a bit of a miracle streak. It's a team that's really only come together last month. Got players from different teams around the CIS scene just dotted around. Vert used to be on Team Space. That was a roster that was in ECL a number of times in the past. Masval was on Iron Branch back in 22. Team that was often would pop up in open qualifiers. Of course, Cynic's known for his time with Fear. On that Witcher's team with Smooya. Things just aren't working out for Zero Tenacity today. A team that's been together for so long is getting caught by a team that's been together for a month. The juxtaposition is pretty wild. A whiff in toward Ivy, though, gives Nemanja an opportunity to recover one. Makes it a 3v3 and gives him a plant.
It's a nervous though now. In this post plant, you don't want to make a false step. You don't want to make the wrong move. And Nemanja, just a jiggle is enough to deter him. He's got information on 2 players. Spotted the op there as well. Zero Tenacity trying to hold on right now. And Betera, they need to make a decision. They need to go for it right now. Try and find the kill or just back away and save. Money is not perfect on the CT side at all. So they need to really get a move on if they want to go for this. Nemanja in an ideal position to just shut this one down. And with that kill, surely it has done. The AWP not move whatsoever. And even he is going to be collected with the round along with it. Masval will save himself and that AK. That's at least something to really be in Betera's corner in this next round, because there's not going to be a lot in that corner.
Indeed. There's actually a world. 4 in a row. They might have to play like what? If Zero Tenacity keep going, they might have to only play 2 gun rounds. Because this is going to be an eco. I think one of them will probably be like a more significant half by they'd have to worry about. But still, you catch my drift. It's still on. Fat Lady has not sung yet.
Would be one of the most unfortunate ways to die if you just get spammed through that. That would be not an ideal way to lose your life in this one. Nemanja, he's very patient here. Over towards A. He's got a teammate to back him up. Oh, they're looking for a peek here. Is the timing going to go against him a little bit? There's a jump out. Masval with the rifle. Nemanja, thinking about getting the molly up, but his teammate decides to peek instead. Will they get away? Oh, it's just a scrappy engagement all around, but Masval eventually is going to connect with that AK. Or another rifle required. And Tenzi, how has he found that kill onto AVN? That's absolutely ridiculous, and he still has it. He manages to get away with his life. No, he doesn't. Nemanja will catch him on the retreat, reefs him back by the collar. As now Masval trying to put that rifle to use once again, but somehow Zero Tenacity have done this. Wait 1 second, gets a little bit messy with Brute Monster spotted out. He was the man with the bomb, and the pistol could have taken him down, but somehow, some way, Zero Tenacity recover that one.
You've just joined the game, which I assume quite a lot of you have, of course, considering a certain match elsewhere has just finished with FaZe getting 13-0'd. That is actually one of the messier rounds. It's actually been one of the pretty clean game, especially on train. There hasn't been any really massive errors, but for one whiff in the first half. And everyone has a whiff every now and then. So, yeah, huge recovery there from Zero Tenacity. Looked very awkward dealing with those pistols. Good pre-nade there to catch the Tenzi and Vert push in toward Pop. They're not going to be put off it, though. And because of that, Simki might just get overrun here. 2 players through Pop, 2 through Brown Halls, up the B ramp, and it's not worked at all for Zero Tenacity. It's a perfect call from Betera. On this lower buy, they've kept Heights AWP, of course. They bought that one up with what is a glass cannon. They've gone for a half buy with everyone else, and it makes total sense. 2 AKs upgraded to. Nemanja's crept all the way in, knowing 4 players are in that role, but he's overlooking the back of the site. What an angle to hold if you're Cynics. And no way Nemanja can predict that in any shape or form. Height now is on the line. There's the pick on Chofo. And Betera's dream run in ESL Challenger League is going to continue. They're going to be making their way up into the upper bracket semi-finals. They will skip a round after topping their group. They've beaten so many teams which you thought they'd be the underdogs in, but they keep on trucking. The team that has been around as a 5-man for only a month has beaten the team that's been around as a 5-man for nearly 2.5 years.
It's absolutely crazy. It is absolutely crazy that